running? Seems like it is. There we go. That appears to be live. Wonderful. Splendid. Perfection. Let's make sure we have everything set up on my end, which it looks like we do. I appear to be coming through just fine. How is everyone doing today? I need to get the other chat window up. That's what I need to do. Let's do the correct spot on the layout. Lovely. Right. What quests did we have on the table right now? Okay, Warden Grey's Final Repose I'm not going to be able to do until kind of late game. Black Emporium, Pinnacle of its kind. That was a fight against quite a tough enemy we could maybe knock out. Of academic interest. Investigate strange occurrences at Gaspin Manor. Okay, so there's not much left we need to do before it's... Go to Docktown and go to Docktown. Okay, so we're pretty ready to progress the plot. Hey, Echo, how you doing? Same to you, Thimba. Hello. Hey to Liz B. How is everyone doing this fine day? Yeah, let's... I'm gonna try one more time to fight that primary demon in the Grand Necropolis. I think that's a reasonable starting quest today. It's nothing too plot related. We fought some mysterious demons, now we've got to go fight the big demon that was locked up. I was underleveled last time we tried it, but I feel like we can probably do it now. Hey, Terra. Alright, who am I going in with? Yeah, let's go with my two best ones. Let's go with my two favorites. We have a healer. We have someone who is going to be motivated to fight good because they don't like skeletons. Oh, Thimba says today is officially 30 days until Christmas. You're correct, but I don't like that you're correct. That is very true, and I don't like it. I am not prepared. I'm not prepared for the end of the year rolling around. I have not done any of my, like... I am not nearly prepared for, like... Game of the year, end of year wrap-ups, that kind of stuff. Oh, Liz, I'm sorry to hear that today has sucked. It's never fun, never fun. I'm sorry today's been a rough one. Right, let's try and fight this big scary demon. Oh, yes, you were the dragon. Okay, we handled that other over-level dragon fight at the start of yesterday's stream. Alright, we can probably do this. We just have to remember to dodge the electricity correctly. Oh. We're going to use Emmerich basically just as a healer on this fight. I think that is the sensible way to do this. 2025 will be good until January 20th. Let's live in 2024 while we can. 2024 has been a good year for me. It's on the whole been a good one. I'm gonna linger in it while I can. Dragon, where are you? Let me hit you with my laser. Ooh. Actually, Emmerich, you can probably do at least one damaging attack. You don't have to do the heal quite this early. Hey, Artisan! Ooh, yeah, combo. Yes, we got the detonation off. I really shouldn't bother trying to use that lightning storm on a dragon because they're just going to fly out of range really commonly. I'm getting good at these dragon attack patterns. I'm getting better at them. Okay, you've not darkened the environment or anything yet. Ooh, what are you doing now? What's your deal? It's another one where I have to remember to dodge. Stuff will get small. There's a timing to it. You got a big shield up. I need to laser you. Oh, maybe I can afford to do the combo again. Zilla did a great job adding you into the gym position today. It took me a second to realize they just took some basic footage from their sound and created a silly thumbnail. Yeah, for those bits, the bits where I'm giving a no, those were new clips that were done. But yes, Zilla did a great job of repurposing some out-of-context AAs into some new clips. We had some fun planning that whole little gimmick yesterday. Okay, Emmerich needs to be on healing duty again, I think. Oh, this is going to be the big problem with you, is that barrier will regenerate if I don't get rid of it quick enough. Which means I have to be really aggressive while you've got the barrier. But obviously I shouldn't be playing aggressively because you're a really strong enemy. Okay, Emmerich, you're on healing. I'm just laser blasting. Really not taking down that barrier as quickly as I hoped it would. Nice takedown. This is going to be the thing that stops me taking down this dragon this early, is I just don't have the damage output to take the barrier down quick enough. Or is it I have to kill your little summons to take the barrier down? That way your barrier's not going down quickly, is it? Summons. I feel like it might be that. It might be taking the summons. No, the barrier is still coming back up. I should just focus on the barrier. Hey, the BT. Graham of Daventry and Cedric the Owl outside of Tesco's in Daventry. I have no idea what that is, but that's apparently today's mystery tattoo prediction. Gosh, yes, until I can get this barrier down. Ooh. Kamehameha might be the thing that gets the barrier down. Come on. Not quite. Not quite. Stupid barrier. Okay, just all out attack. Just keep doing main spells. Okay, the barrier went down. Okay, we're actually doing damage to the boss again now. Okay, Emmerich heals. Let's go. Sorry, I'll be more chatty when I am not being attacked by this chaotic dragon. Oh, that could be a King's Quest reference. My brain is too focused on Big Dragon to... Oh, yes, okay. Look, my brain is not in... King's Quest was not on the top of my mind mid fighting a scary dragon. I apologize that I didn't instantly have the reference to mind. That is on me, you know. Okay, watch for the circle shrink. Okay, we're coming up on halfway. Coming up on halfway through this fight. We're not doing too badly. Honestly, this could be going way worse. Oh, Thimberg, congrats on having even more Blue Sky people. Blue Sky... I saw someone saying something interesting about Blue Sky today, which was Blue Sky is reaching the point that people in business meetings are getting asked, should we be, by executives, are we supposed to be on Blue Sky? Do we need to be on Blue Sky? The fact that executives are now asking, are we supposed to be on Blue Sky? Is like, it's hitting that mainstream adoption, apparently. Right. Let me, what am I doing? Hit. Okay. I think we are actually at 50% now. Keep using Emmerich's heal. Let's be sensible with our potions. We're playing the long game. We're not trying to beat him now. We're trying to beat him full stop. Don't use potions unless you can't avoid it. Oh, hit the weak point with the Kamehameha. Oh, this... Oh. Okay, that was pretty good damage. Okay, we're doing alright, How are you finding the extra potion because you're a crow? I was a crow first. My second playthrough, I missed having an extra potion at first. It took me a while to get used to one less potion. Yeah, so I'm the opposite. I'm having the extra potion on the additional playthrough. And I was finding it really helpful early game. I found here's the thing. My second playthrough, I've been much better about keeping a healer on my team most times and using them rather than potions. And in those cases, like this fight, I've not really noticed the difference. But when the plot dictates that I have to go take people who aren't healers on a quest with me and I have a tough fight, that's when I start appreciating that fourth potion, is when I don't have the healer on hand for the particular quest. It was helpful early game, and it's helpful in specific cases later game. I'm gonna be honest, I can't even remember what my bonus for being a Shadow Dragon was in place of the extra potion. Okay. I'll say this, I'm trying to keep up with following people back on Blue Sky. If you were someone who I followed on Twitter and I haven't followed you back on Blue Sky is way worse for letting me, like, just mouse over and see who's who. I have to manually go to my followers list and scroll back and try and remember when I've scrolled back to the last place I saw. So I'm doing my best to keep an eye on who's following and follow people back, but I'm doing my best. Heal me.
Who's going, Emmerich?
Are you getting your... Oh, you're getting the barrier back. Okay, so what I realistically need to do is... need to get my Kamehameha back, ideally, to get this barrier down. Ooh. Okay, we're like halfway down with the barrier. Come on, the Kamehameha's like really close. Come on. Don't let the pressure up. This is where I should be using my potions. I should be using the potions when I'm trying to get the barrier down, because that's a place where I can't afford to play safe and wait for Emmerich. I need to play aggressive and just use the consumable resource. Keep pressure up. Use the potions to just get that barrier down. Don't let that barrier go away. This is maybe even where I use Emmerich to do attacks rather than healing. I just want to get that barrier down while I can. Yeah, okay. And we try and take the remaining barrier out with this. Okay. And hopefully he won't get another barrier charge. Oh, Thimba, feel free to use the Twitch chat for that. That is a thing I am aware of, and it is an overwhelming fact to know. For anyone in the YouTube chat, Vince McMahon's wife is Secretary of Education in the next administration, and that's terrifying. Come on. I should probably play it slower and like take out the summons, but I really want to take this dragon down before he gets another chance to get the barrier up, because I used basically all of my potions on taking the barrier down aggressively the last time, and I don't want to have to deal with that again if I can help it. Strange wife. I don't know the specifics. I saw that it's man and wife. It was like, Okay, let's breathe. Yes, an anti-vaxxer will be running the health department. It's none of it's great. None of it's great. At least fucking Matt Gates had to pull out of his proposed cabinet role. That's something. Oh, no. Ah, fuck. I used Emmerich's move on attacking rather than healing. I pressed the wrong thing. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna realistically have to see if I can find a healing jar somewhere around. Okay, there's one there. That'll keep me alive. Oh, Emmerich's got the heal back. It's special. Okay. What am I doing? Take a second to stop and breathe. We can do that. Okay, we have the heal from Emmerich. We have the blast. We can hit the weak point with the blast. So close to taking down the big dragon. Look, obviously I'm not allowed an opinion on whether that should have got a Game of the Year nomination. You know, I'm being as biased as I am. I think it would be great to see it get one, but also, you know, depending on what other awards you're looking at, like, he got nominated for a bunch of the GA Comp Awards this year, which is really cool. I expect it'll show up. Like, I suspect the gaming award will probably have some for it. So close. Oh. High Dragon defeated. Oh. There we go.
There. It's over. Katadim Hira. It's out of the dragon. Her fight is over.
1,000-year banishment to the Fade. The Watchers will make note of the date.
You're gonna write down the date that god's gonna come back. Good to know. Oh, there we go. Hello, chat. I'm sorry I was a little bit preoccupied with dragon murder. But I'm getting a bunch of cool shit now, so... Ooh, 300 more stagger. Yeah, let's take that. Yeah, I need to keep circling until I get back to the big throne bit. Then we've got one quest in the wetlands to do. And then I think we're good to go for progressing the game. I mean, the BT, you don't have to call me out like that, you know, I occasionally use the orb. Not frequently. But I like knowing I have a good orb attached. I just find myself enjoying the speed of the thing more. I still want to have a nice orb. I want the orb to be good. Even if I never use it, I want it to be a good one. Ooh, this is gonna be unique. What armor is this? No ability damage, gain deflect and resistance. Ooh, this one. Let's try it. Let's test that one. Let's try it out.
You return. We are content.
Why are you here? What do you want?
Not now. Not yet. We will show you soon.
This just gets weirder every time.
Ominous. Right, so we had one quest left to do. An academic interest. We have to investigate strange occurrences at Gaspin Manor. That's in the wetlands. Right. How far are we gonna go? I do not remember what this quest is.
We're not alone.
I don't know if fighting these people is important to it or not, but we're gonna do it. It's rare that a fast travel point spawns me into combat. It spawns me this close to active enemies. Which is partly why I think that this might be quest enemies happening.
Dead now.
Hey, Max. I'm guessing by official pitier of Stephanie's, you are referring to my popping up a couple of times to sternly shake my head in disapproval during the gym position this week. Ooh, I have a potential favour to ask of chat today. I warn you, I'm going to be bringing this up a couple times this week, because it's a certain week for it. Hey, between now and Sunday, voting is open for the GA Conf Awards 2024, the Game Accessibility Conference, and among their various categories, you know, there are games that I worked on that are nominated. That's pretty cool. There's stuff that I showcased in the AA showcase this year. That's pretty cool. But if you, I'm going to put a link in the various chats. If you look at the Best PR and Comms Award this year, the Accessibility Summer Showcase is in there as a nominee, and partly it is voted for by audience votes. So I'm going to drop that link in chat and go, hey, if by any chance you happen to think that the Accessibility Summer Showcase was one of the best, it was perhaps the best accessibility-focused PR and comms part of the year in terms of accessibility, you think that it deserves a vote for that award, I'm just putting that link there. It'd be super appreciated. Terra, super appreciate it. Thank you. Yes, I'm putting it there while being like, I know that I'm being cheeky, but this year has been a real good year, and it'd be real nice to... Oh, did I just not read this fucking book? We fought our way all the way into here previously.
This writing is old.
I just
If
never
it was
fucking
Lord
checked the clues, I
Gasping,
guess.
Whatever he thought was back here, it wasn't enough. He found a demon, or became the one we met. If the demon was the curse, at least we've kept it away.
Oh yeah,
from
we literally
Lavendale.
fought a boss
Once
fight
we're
in this
done, we
room and
can
then
let
never
Bastion
read
know.
the story about what we were fighting. Alright, one sec. It linked the link twice back to back in the command. Oh, sorry. I apparently hit paste twice, so let me try that again. Now it should be just the link once. That's why the link wasn't working. Self-promotion is cringe, but legit and necessary cringe. Look, these awards mean nothing in as much as if I win, what does it mean? I put a piece of fancy-looking glass on my bookshelf that goes, I won a thing. But it does also mean I can say the award-winning Accessibility Summer Showcase. And I will say, if for nothing else, I think it would really help in terms of raising the profile of the showcase to be like, hey, this is a serious thing, it's an award-winning showcase, take it seriously, developers, and like helping get some of the slightly bigger accessibility names on board. I think that could open some doors. And if nothing else, just for me, this has been a really fucking good year for me in terms of like, I won the Journalism Impact Award at the Women in Games Awards back in September. I've had several game credits in the last couple of months, and it would be really nice to end this year on, like, I don't know if I'm ever going to have a year as good as this one professionally, and if this year is the one, I'm going to add one last little hurrah at the end of it, and go, one last little thing I did good this year, if things are going to, you know, maybe not be so busy in future years. External validation is nice sometimes, and you know how it is. This year in particular, I'm like, it would be really nice to capstone a year of, yeah, I did good this year. Hey, the nautical menace. Right, where am I heading? I gotta report this back. Cool, we can actually go progress the game today. Actually, I say that, I'm gonna see if there's more companion quests yet. I suspect not. I don't think any more companion stuff's gonna open up until we progress the main plot. That's my suspicion, anyway.
Rook! Always good to see people return. Means they're still alive.
We went up to Gaspin Manor.
You did? And the curse? Was it... Did the Blight wake it?
Less the Blight and more like some Venatori. There was a demon haunting the manor. We stopped it.
Huh. Well, we all knew something wasn't right. And thank you. That's one less evil to worry about.
Hurrah! How are all my factions doing points-wise? I should probably look at the world map. Let's have a look on the left. 2 stars for the Antivan Crows. The, oh, I'm so bad at remembering my fucking... Yeah, so the Crows, the Lords of Fortune, and the Morn Watch, so that makes sense. My faction I'm personally a part of, and my 2 favourite companions are doing good. Minus 250 because we didn't save the city. Okay, so I need to start bringing the other characters on missions with me again soon. I know. I've got my faves and I like them. We'll get there. We'll round it all out. I was a lot better at using my characters in a more sort of evenly spread manner, my first playthrough now. I'm like, no, I have my faves. Okay, any more lights on?
Just tell me what you're thinking. At the chantry, Spite, you know what happened. I don't...
All right. You want to know what I'm thinking? It's less about the demon, more about the blood magic. There's something knotted up in there. And if you're waiting for me to look at you different, hate to disappoint. No, that's a lie. I enjoy it.
I think I want to say thank you, but I'm not sure.
I get that a lot.
Right. Any more lights on outside? I suspect not. I think we've been pretty thorough. Yeah, we've been pretty thorough with our side quests. I should probably actually take Nev with me on this one if we're going to... You know what? I'll take two people that I haven't taken out in a while. We'll take Nev and Balara. We'll go girls trip. Yes, the formless one does send you a message that basically says fuck you, which is great. No, let's do... We gotta get Nev in rotation. Nev and Balara will do. Hey, Izzy. How goes the aging of the dragons? We're doing good. We found out about how Solus is the cause of literally every problem in the Dragon Age series, and every species kind of got fucked over by him. We fought a big dragon. Now we're... What are we doing? I gotta remind myself what we're actually doing. We're gonna go find a fancy shop, and then go continue the quest by... Oh, finding out more about Nev's side quest. With the Thread Crime Syndicate. So, yeah, let's... Actually, the Docktown Black Emporium we can do whenever. It's not important to do on stream. It's a different currency store. Let's go do the Nev quest. Actually, yeah, Balara is going to be my healer, so you go on the left. We put Nev on the right because you are damage dealer. Head to the tracked quest. Yeah, we gotta do the companion quest that's to do with fixing all
The
of
candle
this.
They carry messages through the city.
Yes, the Black Emporium basically exists in part to be a did you permanently miss this one-of-a-kind item? Yeah, here's where it ends up. It's yet another example of we don't want you to fuck yourself out of unique stuff forever. And it is deeply
I've
appreciated.
heard of archdemons before, but never one like that.
Honestly, with everything
Oh,
I've
Izzy,
heard
thank you
about
very much for the
Dylan,
10 months of Prime
I'm
sub.
glad it wasn't
There's this
worse.
button too. I like this
And the
button. It takes
legends
money
about
away from
her?
Amazon. Thank you for
She's
sneaking into
nice.
Bezos' house
She
and going,
created the
look,
Hala.
poor people
She
trying to
guides us
unionize. And then
to
when he
our
was looking away,
destination.
sliding some money off the
But if
table
you
to
read
me from
between the
his kitchen
lines,
table. Thank you very
it's,
much.
well, creepy.
Actually, remember to keep an eye on both chats because only one of them is popping up my
Let's try this again.
notifications. There we go.
Nev, we were going to talk. You come looking for me?
Hello, Alec. And Cedar. You sing at the Cobbled Swan. And spy for the threads?
You got it.
All right. You called. I showed up. Why are we here?
Because the Venatori are targeting threads. We want the scales tipped back in our favor.
Please, tell us how to help.
Aren't you polite?
Cut to the chase, Alec.
The Venatori are taking our people, and they aren't shy about it. They walked into the Swan and abducted our boss, Marco Damas.
The threads always kept their leader secret, pulling strings from the shadows.
Yeah, well, the Venatori found us out, declared they were securing Docktown as they dragged him out. Cedar was performing at the time. So the whole thing...
Yeah, this is a very different version of this quest than if you save Minrathus and abandon Treviso. there is an entire quest where you're, like, investigating this abduction, like, basically just after it's happened, whereas here it's like, nah, we solved that, we got on top of it.
They just walked in? The Venatori don't lack confidence.
I'd love to correct that, wouldn't you? It's an easy deal. Right, Nev? We've had our differences, but the Threads are better neighbors than the Venatori.
Dogtown's ours. We want them out as much as you.
The cult's got an inside track on our members. They're watching us. But you?
I get it. You give us the lead, we go in alone.
They're holed up in the Thread Market. I'll get you access. Still won't be easy.
Good luck, all right.
Here's hoping.
It is, in my opinion, one of the more interesting bits of Nev's questline. Yeah, because, like, Nev, I think, has, in my opinion, the weakest of the companion quests, in terms of, like, it lacks a strong, clear villain. The thing that, like, Nev's companion quest does right is you get to see Nev being a detective, like, the thing that is ostensibly her whole character trait. You get to go and do that with her, and I think, like, that is the thing that sort of brings it back up. But getting to miss out on one of the key, like, traveling around town, being a detective sequences with her, I think takes what was already maybe the weaker of the companion quests, in my opinion, and weakens it. I can see how if you didn't save Minrathous, this could really pull down your thoughts on Nev's companion quest further. That's interesting. There might be more to come of this later.
So we're rescuing
It does
the
feel
leader
like
of
we've
crime
missed out
syndicate.
on one of the better bits of Nev's quest.
The Threads
this way.
protect their streets. If we can swing power back in their favor, Dogtown needs whoever will fight for it. Let's get to the market.
Yeah, we're going straight to the Thread Market, huh? Yeah, there was a whole quest before this. I think part of the quest was to do with, like, some musicians that never showed up to work, and we had to find, like, the secret hidden basement they were in, and
All right.
the whole
So when we
thing. Yeah, I don't know if it's enough to save our quest, but, like, letting Treviso down, Nev's quest is all the better for it. Like, I think Lucanus's survives, does a much better job of feeling balanced if you don't save Treviso. Yeah, I think again the thing that hurts Nev's quest most is lack of a clear memorable villain.
That's it for now.
Because, like, all the rest of these, I can off the top of my head, like, without spoilers, I can be like, oh, Emmerich has the evil necromancer that's stealing souls that he used to be friends with. Daverin's got the person that stole the griffins. Tarsh, even if we haven't, like, hugely been introduced to them yet, has the Dragon King, who's been set up. We have, like, Harding has, like, oh, what's going on with the magic of the dwarves and the stone magic and the thing coming to chase me. Nev's is like, someone was pulling strings in Docktown and was behind all of the stuff. There was mysterious bad stuff going on. I remember that people were disappearing from Minrathous and that was bad. And that we had to get to the bottom of it and we had to work with the Threads to do that. I can't remember who it is that's stealing people or why in Minrathous. Yeah, blood magic and oppression, I believe are wrapped into it, but, like,
Need to move before any more of the cult.
yeah, it's interesting.
If the Venatori are against the Threads, why take Damas? Why not kill him at the Swan?
The Threads must have something the Venatori want.
What do you say, Thread?
For the glory of
There's me. I think it's actively the opposite. I think it's you get a shorter version of the quest with fewer parts and less experience doled out, making it harder for you to level up that place that you didn't support. I thought Tasha's personal villain was gender dysphoria. I mean, yeah, but there's also a guy we gotta punch at some point.
Right now.
What are they doing?
And I just legitimately cannot remember who Nev's guy we gotta punch is in that same way. It's just not as memorable. Like, I'm pretty sure it's a woman. Might be something to do with whoever was... I feel like it was whoever was covering for the Venatori. Actually, I say that, it might be a man who... Maybe there was a man who sold out the Venator... the city to the Venatori? Could I tell you for certain? No.
Got you covered.
Well, maybe the missing musicians later. Maybe it's not this bit. I thought... I don't know. I'm losing track of which bits happen where a little bit in this.
This is bad. Just try to be the one left standing.
Oh, I'm defeating the Venatori. Okay, so it's just combat now.
That's the last of them.
They're controlling kidnapped threads with blood magic. If one of them revealed Damas, taking the boss gets them everything. We need to find him.
We can free the other captives too.
Wait. I heard something. There's someone up ahead.
This whole thing is unfortunately a little forgettable compared to the other companion quests. Yeah, that is my personal opinion.
Quite the setup. That's Markle Damas? I could take him off your hands.
He's not mine to give. Damas serves our best.
Hello, Nev. I've missed you.
Yeah, is it something like, is it like the mayor? No. People are being sacrificed to something, I think.
You know me.
Damas doesn't, but I do. You stopped me once.
Oh, it's someone that, yeah, it's someone that she, like, a failed investigation of her past or something.
My purpose remains.
Aelia.
Aelia.
Rid
Yeah, it was a woman.
of this
Right.
criminal. Kill him. Will anyone notice in Docktown? I won't be stopped.
What have you done, Aelia? Speaking directly through him. Puppetry. The blood magic needed.
Impressed? It pales next to the power De Vinter once had.
The butler did it.
Say the word and we move. Together.
How familiar.
Enough.
You dealt with Bataris and his relic. You found us here. No further. The risen God showed me the path to our legacy, our salvation. I am this city's future, and you'll stay out of my way.
Yeah, I remember flashes of this.
We need to subdue Damas fast, to keep him alive.
This wretch! I would use him for something better, even if it's stopping you.
Venatori, he's really not so strong.
Everyone a greater cause.
Protect Dogtown!
There he goes. Done. Simple. Quick and easy.
Aelia?
I'm a
taking
little
over the
overpowered for
threads.
where I'm at in the game.
It secures the Venatori a little more power, but I know you. There's more. You're setting us up. For what?
For Minrathus. Our ancient power restored. Our destiny renewed.
And damn the lives it takes. We've played this game before.
The game never ended.
I don't care what you're playing, but Nev's got backup.
Nev keeps her own agenda. If a fool's caught in it,
I've been called worse.
I love when boss fights are
Minrathus is
super easy,
broken,
barely an
but you
inconvenience.
like it. Does it flatter your ego to leave the city as it is? To prove your cynicism right? I am our hope. I'll change these streets, starting with Dogtown. It could do better.
Yeah, because, like, this villain's whole motivation seems to be thinking that Nev doesn't care about changing and fixing Dogtown, but, like, Nev's whole thing has been fixing and changing and improving Dogtown. Like, I don't buy why this villain's pissed off at Nev.
Nev.
Doesn't seem to line up with the Nev we've seen, who very clearly cares about improving and changing things in Dogtown.
Van Heders. Fucking cultist snakes. They'll pay for this.
I know we're here to save him, but he's still a crime boss, and he's really angry.
Can you blame him?
Fair enough.
Nev Gallus, if you're here, Alec sent you.
You're welcome.
You did me a favor. I heard you stopped a red lyrium relic, and the Venatori responsible walked.
This was the first mission
I've
of
got dirt on
Nev's
him.
quest, I remember that.
Enough for the shadows to make a move.
Consider it my thanks.
Okay. Okay, so this was the dude that was trying to sell an evil relic, and, like, his dad and the corrupt cops. His dad paid off a corrupt cop to keep him safe. And I think Damas here is suggesting killing him. Did he say he had enough evidence to take him down? Fuck it. Yeah, deal.
Bataris put lives at risk. If you can take him down,
do it.
Consider it done.
Yeah, okay.
The Threads protect their streets. It looks like you do.
We don't have to
too.
like you, Threads, but we'll do our best to work
There's
toward
no
the
one
common
else
goal
here.
of
the person controlling
dealing
him.
with the
She's gone.
corruption Venatori streets. I think that makes sense.
I gave Damas's information to the surviving Shadow Dragons. They'll run with it. Bataris is one man, but that's one less Venatori to deal with. You know, I didn't expect backup for this job. I wasn't looking to drag you in.
We saved Damas. The stuff with Aelia, we'll figure it out.
This doesn't end well.
Who is she? Besides an evil blood mage.
A damn...
I don't think it helps either that Lucanus' whole mission is also to do with an evil blood mage. I don't think that helps. That there's another woman who's a blood mage that is also part of a companion quest that I got to first, before I got to this bit in Nev's. I don't think that helps. Because in my head I try and picture her villain and I'm like, ah yes, naked woman covered in blood doing a ritual down in the basement. No, that's Lucanus. This is a different blood mage. Like, I don't think it helps that two of their companion quests are like involve a secretive blood mage woman, and that Lucanus is pretty easy to, even if he's pissed off at you, it's pretty easy to bump into his blood mage woman before Nev's blood mage woman.
Fanatic, a believer in Tevinter's former glory. I caught her trying to save the city. The ritual, what she wanted to summon. She'd have sacrificed us all. I caught her. The Templars had her. Turns out, Aelia had sympathy in the right places. She disappeared from her cell, but I had a lead. I should have gone alone. But I went looking for backup.
Yeah, I kind of agree with Cinnamon Armadillo. I feel like the threads were never shown to be that bad in the story where Minrathous gets blighted. Felt no issues working with them. Yeah, I feel like they definitely needed, particularly in the Minrathous destroyed version, to make siding with the threads a harder choice. I think we needed, like, we saw the Venatori literally, like, hanging shadow dragons in the streets. We didn't see anything like that being done by... Like, we never see anything actively terrible being done by the threads in the moment to make us go, we are siding with someone terrible to stop something terrible.
Someone I could trust. Rana. I found her partner first. Brahm always wore that Andrastian pendant. Had it that night, too. He was a pain. But at the end of the day, he always showed up, tried to do the right thing. Like it's easy. He went in too fast. Aelia found him, she got out. Brahm didn't.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Me too. Aelia's trail went cold after that. The Templars stopped putting people on it. They buried Brahm's death. Like it was nothing. Said
yeah,
it
a blood mage did it is a real...
He didn't have orders.
Little
he
bit of
put
an
protecting
active crutch.
Docktown first. He helped me. And that's what he got. What now? A dragon attack, Aelia's back and backed by a god. Where does it end?
Probably with a fight with the blood mage.
I can't say a lot of people
In a pool
show
full
up
of blood,
for me,
maybe.
Brooke, or that it ends well when they do, but today, you came through for Docktown this time. Even when I didn't expect it.
Yay! You hate me slightly less.
I wasn't there for the dragon. If only I could be everywhere at once. But even if I'm late, I've got your back. Hopefully that's enough.
I'll take late over never. And I'm around if you need me.
Okay. Okay, Nevu's a little more back on site now. Right. Time for plot progression. Let's find out what the next big side quest, what the next big story quest and what new side quests are available.
I need to get the team around the table and talk about what's next.
We do, but at least one member of the team has a new mission we need to go chat about, so... You got...
Demon's back. I don't think he ever leaves, actually. Then he's acting weird.
Smells like melon and wood smoke.
Hey! No! No! Sit your ass back down.
I love Tosh basically treating being on guard duty for a demon like being babysitter for a toddler. No. You put that cookie back in the jar.
I'll handle this. Maybe make sure the Illuvian room is blocked?
Now we get to talk.
When demons say they want to talk, that usually means they want to bargain.
Lucanus made a deal he hasn't kept.
What deal?
Break our chains, kill, escape our prison, and live?
Isn't that what happened?
No! I want out!
Out to where? To Vinter? Orlais? Nowhere's safe for a possessed man.
No! No! He promised! Tell him! Make him!
I have some sympathy for Spite.
Rook?
You were sleepwalking.
I've talked about this before. I think there's a lot of similarities between how Lucanus and Spite are portrayed in this, and like, for any of you who've watched the show The Owl House, Ida's relationship with the Owl Beast, particularly during that one episode where Hooty sort of goes like, "Hey, we're gonna force you into a magic sleep. Have a chat with the owl." In as much as like this terrifying evil trapped inside me that I'm just trying to keep locked down and not let out, is ultimately a thing that is as miserable chained to me as I am chained to it. And that you've got to learn to respect its needs as well, because otherwise, when it comes to the surface, it's just going to lash out violently because you haven't taken its needs as a essentially caged animal into account.
Spite was sleepwalking.
He didn't go anywhere. Nothing happened.
I didn't want you to see that. Again.
You didn't manage to leave the room, and Tosh didn't hit you with an axe. That's all that matters.
I'm supposed to be a professional.
Professional doesn't mean you have to go it alone.
Something to think about, I guess.
Now see, that feels like the hook for like, if you're romancing Lucanus, that's where like it probably really kicks into gear there. Like that, the end of that conversation feels like a real good on-ramp for Lucanus romance. I might be wrong. I'm following my instincts. Honestly, yeah, Spite does seem to be the terror of I've been locked up and even now I'm outside of the prison, I still have a burning desire to be out, to not be trapped. Oh.
So, does the fire
I like this.
feel like a part of you? Or I don't know, like something else inside you?
No, it has to be me.
Has to? What if it's not?
How?
Sometimes the stone magic feels like something else in me. It's me, but it's not me. You know?
You have to feel the magic as part of you. You can't control it till you admit it's yours. Comparing magic?
It's nice to have someone else who understands.
That what it's like for you as a mage?
Yeah, I hadn't really considered this. I know that if you don't romance either Tasha or Harding, the two of them end up dating. And I'd not really stopped to consider that this scene, I think, is a really nice lead into that connection starting to grow, in as much as they are both people whose species typically cannot do a thing, but they are basically the only one special one that can do that sort of magical thing. And that being a thing that might feel quite isolating, but that they can find understanding in each other on. I hadn't really considered this scene in the context of, if you're not romancing either of them, this is probably part of the ramp up to them romancing.
I had to accept that while magic comes from the Fade, the power to harness it comes from me.
You make it sound so easy.
You know how many times I set my bed on fire? My mother had to get special sheets. You'll get there.
Rook's a lucky woman.
Yep.
Aww. Oh yeah, because Harding's finishing the scene with Rook's a lucky woman. Because Harding's like, oh, you're good, Tosh. I'd have probably been into... Rook's lucky to have you. Because I'd have been after you otherwise. Oh. They would have been cute together for sure. Right, let's go gather everyone at the table and have a little team check-in. What's progress? What's the update? Actually, do I have...
Manifestation.
Can I upgrade any of my stuff real good? not finish upgrading. Everyone to the table.
It's the risk of the path we've chosen. Sorrow and anger waiting in abundance. Familiarity rarely dulls their teeth.
Right. Spend enough time as a warden and you'll see plenty of death. Thought I'd gotten used to it. But Weishaupt...
You blame yourself. If you'd been faster or fought harder. If you hadn't missed your best shot at the architect of all that misery.
You did your best. Both of you.
Hooray, they're starting to get over their quarrels.
This means our best must be better.
It will be. Next time, we'll be ready.
I like that this game really does give, like, a proper amount of time for... these people are starting to become friends, but oh no, something went wrong, and, like, defensively they're blaming each other because they don't want to blame themselves, and then having time to start learning about each other's perspectives and cool off a bit and go, oh, you know what, actually, I was, like, really projecting, and he's not so bad, and starting to build back up friendships, and then, like, really building into a team that, like, has had rocky times, but has, like, come back together stronger for it. Like, this really does take the time, I think, to have those ebbs and flows of a group really coming to feel like family that not a lot of games do. And I like how many characters start off actively disliking each other and being, like, the characters that have the most conflict. If you work through it, end up being the ones with the strongest friendships, and that's really nice.
Seems like you're getting along now. Better than before, at least.
Lucanus is still an assassin. Kills people for money. No offense, Rook.
And Davrin's still self-righteous. Judgmental, too. Typical warden.
If we let that get in the way of stopping the gods...
We won't. We cannot.
Yeah, because again, like this, they're not instantly besties, but they're like, look, I still have this problem with him, and he still has this problem with me, but he's a good guy, we're both, like, working on the same thing. We can't be dicks about the things we don't like about each other. It's like, yeah, that's step one. Terra says, this game also does a good job of having things that aren't supposed to happen. Lucanus and Spite shouldn't be able to merge because Lucanus isn't a mage. The other Neurists are so powerful they break all of our understanding of magic. Yes, I think it's something I didn't really appreciate hugely the first time through, but the second time through has really stood out more, is the elven gods coming back and fucking with how magic works creates a really interesting backdrop for all of these. This thing that shouldn't be possible is happening because these are forces, reality-shaping forces that have been let back into the world, and in small and subtle ways, things that should be impossible become more common when reality gets fucked with.
I need all of you at your best. No petty squabbles.
Returning from Treviso has put much into perspective. Our arguments, our personal problems, it's as Emmerich says. They hold us back.
We won't stop the gods while other worries weigh us down.
I'm pleased my words
dragons shouldn't be able to be
clarity on how we all
blighted.
felt. Now, if I may suggest...
Rook, I've been looking for you.
Something wrong?
Evka sent word. They've found something.
Right then. Rest of you find Tosh and Nev. Let's go see what the Wardens have to share.
Is this... I think I know what this is. No, I'm not gonna...
You were holding her hand the whole time?
I'd no idea Johanna was involved when we found the Hand of Glory. Performing self-surgery. I pray she was already undead by then.
And now you've got a rogue hand on the loose causing trouble.
Well, that raises a question of independent will.
You mean, does Hazenkas's hand have a mind of its own?
The diabolical mind that spawned it is my main worry. We'll stop Johanna.
Cinnamon Armadillo says, looking at the voting stuff you linked earlier, I'm far too disconnected from current accessibility stuff to know what games to vote for. Well, you can skip any categories you don't feel confident voting on anything for. You know what I will do? I'm going to read through the GA Conf award categories and rapid fire some information about some of the nominees, just giving, bias where needed. Actually, yeah, some of them, the page actually has good descriptions on here, but my quick summary of, like, ones that drew my attention this year. Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown. This was one that was a big deal for me. It had the ability to take screenshots and then pin them onto your map in a Metroidvania, which was, like, super useful for my aphantasia, my inability to do visual memory and recall. It also had high contrast mode, which was a first for a Ubisoft game. Dragon Age of Veilguard I obviously worked on. This game has a bunch of accessibility stuff in there for things like invincibility, difficulty, configurable parry timings, aim assist, HUD, audio cues for some of the visual mechanics, motion sickness settings, mono audio. The big one for me, being able to pan mono audio left and right for when one of my ears is just blocked and doesn't work properly. I can have mono audio, but I can make it louder in my bad ear so that it sounds good across both. Call of Duty Black Ops 6, new accessibility presets for simplified controls, motion sickness reduction, high contrast mode stuff, arachnophobia settings, which is the first for Call of Duty. Life is Strange Double Exposure. I'm biased because I worked on this one, but content warnings, which can pause or not pause ahead of time. Things for, like, warnings for sudden brightness or volume changes, longer choice timers, major choice confirmation, camera assist, simplified visual effects for powers, hotspot pinging. On the indie side, Peripheral Synthetic, this is one of the ones from the AA Showcase this year. It is a non-violent first-person Metroidvania playable exclusively via audio cues. Fascinating game. Another Crab's Treasure, an indie crab-based Souls-like with a bunch of things like difficulty modifiers, parry modifiers, easy mode, the ability to give the crab a gun so it can just one-hit kill bosses. Proof that Souls games can have easy modes and accessibility settings and not ruin their flow. Botany Manor, a game about learning how to grow plants, had some really good motion sickness stuff. One of the best games I've seen in terms of, like, properly labeling motion sickness accessibility settings and telling you what they do and what direction to move the slider if you're having what issue. Really well explained. Pine Hearts, indie game about climbing a mountain that had really good high contrast mode, simplified controls, text options. Lucky Squire, difficulty modes, assist for jumps, disable falling off platforms, invincibility, one-hit kills, that kind of stuff. I'm going to skim through some of the notable ones from other categories off the top of my head. What are some that I want to jump off and talk about? If you go on the page that I linked, you should be able to read, like, information about most of these. Hellblade 2 has really interesting mental health representation for psychosis, including having subtitles that had, like, 5 different positions where subtitles could appear. So if in stereo headphones you were hearing multiple voices talking to you from, like, in 3D around you, the subtitles were appearing, like, representing where around you the sound was coming from, so that people who couldn't hear were still getting that really interesting representation of psychosis. Their best journalism category, you can read the articles in there. Why Games Need a Thriving Third-Party Accessibility Scene is an article I'm quoted in that I think is pretty good, but also one of the bigger ones this year was Grant Stoner writing about a prominent accessibility advocate that never existed. It's a fucking wild read. Assistive technology, PlayStation Access Controller, that's the PlayStation Accessibility Controller. Microsoft Adaptive Joystick, what is there? BioWare Proteus Controller, that's a big one. It's a series of cubes you can plug together in whatever format you like, and you put the controls on whatever cube faces you like. It's a really customizable controller, very interesting. Accessibility Summer Showcase, clearly the best comms and marketing. Tee-hee. That's a bunch of the stuff. You can read more on that page. There you go. thrown a bunch of words at you. If you have questions about any of the games on that list, let me know. I can probably answer questions about them. I've played basically everything on this year's list. I can tell you why a game is interesting if the description on the website doesn't do it justice. Yes, intentionally overwhelming subtitles. One of my favorite things this year. Finding a way to do the sound is coming from all around you and overlapping itself as subtitles, and making it clear what's a whispered, hallucinated dialogue line versus internal speech versus something being said out loud, and having subtitles that clearly communicate all that. Genuinely fucking fascinating. Yeah, there's so much stuff on that list. I couldn't possibly go into depth on all of them without spending the whole next half hour of the stream doing it, but that's some of the ones that I felt passionate about, like, chatting about.
We've gotten word from the Wardens.
Have they found Gillenane?
Not yet, but they found something else worth killing. One of her blighted dragons.
The one that attacked me in Rathus?
No, the one from Treviso.
Damn it.
Where is it?
Hossberg, not far from Lavendel.
So this blighted dragon just happens to lick its wounds near a bunch of wardens? Seems convenient. I don't trust it. Everyone's coming on this one, no exceptions. We need to put this thing down, for good.
This time, we've got a dragon hunter on our side. Right, Tosh?
Right. We can do this.
We've got this.
We took down an archdemon, and we nearly defeated this dragon last time. We'll handle whatever the gods throw at us. Now let's go kill this thing.
Cool. Let's go kill a dragon. I know that archdemon really took everything we had to deal with, but we can take this blighted dragon now. We're ready for it. Okay, I want... At the very least, I want Tosh. I want my dragon hunter on the team. You know what? Let's take Lucanus. I need to spend more time with Lucanus. He's my boy. He's part of my squad. He's part of my faction. Yeah, let's put you on the left because you've got the heal. You want right. Era says, another thing I like about the changes in magic in this game, when they made Dragon Age Origins, I remember someone saying they intentionally made sure all the lore came from unreliable sources, and we're never too sure what to believe. And that forethought meant that it's way easier to make retcons now, because you can always say the old information was wrong or biased.
Rook, you made
Super
it.
valuable
Good.
storytelling
Wouldn't
choice.
miss it. We have unfinished business with that dragon. What's the situation out here?
Could be better. The Darkspawn attack, then immediately withdraw. But they never hit the same place twice. They're testing our defenses for weaknesses. Darkspawn aren't supposed to be that smart. But it's not really them thinking, is it? Weishaupt left people terrified. No one signed up to fight gods.
We signed up to fight gods.
The first warden called it the blight to end all blights. He might be right.
Also, yeah, I'm going to pop that link in the chat again if anyone wants to read about any of this year's GA Conf award nominees. They can do so on this page. And then, hey, if you want to vote for the Accessibility Summer Showcase for Best PR Comms this year, I sure wouldn't say no if you happen to think that it was the best accessibility-focused PR marketing and comms this year. Teehee. Right,
By my count, Elgar'nan and Gillenane are the last two gods, aside from Solus. If we put them down...
Yeah, it's not a retcon if it's historical revisionism, exactly.
The last blight.
That... It's hard to imagine what that looks like right now.
First things first. Let's deal with that blighted dragon.
Right. We've tracked it to a ruined tower nearby. Probably licking its wounds after its fight with you. We've got ballistas ready with clear shots on the tower. But it won't come into the open. Already lost 11 wardens trying to pry it out.
Only another dragon can fight a dragon in a tight space. Anything else gets shredded. No room to dodge or keep your distance. We need to lure her out to have any chance.
How do we do that?
Get me inside the tower. I've got a call that'll grab her attention.
Works for me. I sent word to the crows. Thought they might want another shot at the dragon. Besides, figured they owed you one after you helped drive it off the last time.
And?
Haven't heard back yet. We reached out to the Veil Jumpers too, but they've got their own problems with the Venatori. Looks like it's just us.
Cinnamon Armadillo says, fuck, Tarsh is so confident in their element. Right? This is the thing. For all of the times where, like, Tarsh is a little awkward or, not self-confident, it's because, like, that's not Tarsh's vibe. You know, talking to people, navigating social interactions. Tarsh really, to me, feels like a character with a bit of autism going on. The strength, their strength is not navigating social interactions with unclear, like, I have no practice on this. But you go, hey, your special interest, you know a shit ton about dragons, you know what to do about dragons, you know all the stuff to do dragons good. Dragon time. Suddenly that confidence comes to the forward. It's like, oh no, this is me doing the thing I know inside and out.
If anyone can do this, it's us. We had your back at Weishaupt. We've got it here.
Okay, here's where we stand. Wardens Jenny
Cinnamon
and
Armadillo
Rodri are
says
keeping
most of the
people out
companions
battle.
feel ADHD or autistic to me, but that could just be projection. Look, I won't hypothesize too much about too many of the others. I can see it. There's several of them I can see it in. I think I've said on stream, Belara in particular, I'm like, oh, ADHD. Certainly not every companion that I would necessarily say that about, but like,
I don't think anyone local will
I
test their
wouldn't
luck with a
disagree
dragon,
with a lot of people.
but we're taking no chances.
Neurodiverse
They've already
readings
got
of some of
orders
this
to let you
cast.
through.
Good. Rest of you can head to the walls. Give the wardens all the support you can.
Got it, Rook.
Good luck. To all of us.
Let's go. Big dramatic fight.
It's odd. Weishaupt was far worse than this, yet I'm beset with nervousness. I suppose we had little time to contemplate the horrors we found waiting at the fortress.
The Carnus and Nev are the only ones that read strongly neurotypical to me. Again, I could even see the argument for if someone were to make the argument for autistic Nev, I could see it. You know, there's readings I wouldn't necessarily go to myself, but I wouldn't disagree with someone if they told me that was their reading. I'd be like, I can see how to get there.
Rook, I heard you were coming.
Dragon's right this way. Careful though, nasty creature. It's already killed 11 wardens.
Yeah, like, look, if you were going to argue autistic Nev, my argument would be pattern-seeking, has a social routine throughout the town. Like, the first mission you go on where you're collecting information in town, there's a very specific order to it. We go to all of the people selling newspapers in order. We buy their newspaper, we find the information in there, we don't actually talk to them. Like, there is a very methodical routine to information gathering in the town, a very I'm seeing the patterns and the bigger pictures of what's going on here, very over empathetic to the needs of others around, while being a little abrupt and to the point. And like, I don't know if I necessarily agree with that, but I think you could make that argument in a way that I wouldn't disagree with.
That's why we brought out Dragon Hunter. We fought this thing before and don't want to take any chances this time around.
Faximil says, I really like Evka and Antoine, some of the best of the faction characters they introduced in this game. look, for a heterosexual couple, I do think they're rather adorable. I know, forgive me for saying. I do agree. I think they're some of the strongest, most memorable faction characters in this game. I do love them a lot.
Agreed. You'll find it straight ahead. Good luck, Rook. We're ready.
I love Antoine, that little French twink.
She's still a dragon under all that blight. A
Brackets,
wounded and angry dragon. Meaning? That lair is a death trap. She'll rip us apart. So we challenge her, draw the dragon out into the open, then attack.
Also, my mum has gotten into Veilguard enough to start watching.
Just make sure everyone is ready.
Watching gameplay videos on YouTube.
Ready? I've got this.
I've gotten her invested. It's that scene that they put out as like a 20-minute gameplay
Just
clip.
You and me now.
Pre-launch, and it was the first proper look we got at Tash was this scene.
Get ready!
Wardens! Ready ballistas!
It was this intro, like alerting the dragon with the call, and then footage of the dragon fight. It was the first we got any actual fucking dialogue with Tash was this.
Wait for it!
Come on. Come on.
Hit the wings! Force her to land! Second detachment! Flank on the walls! Let's go! We got it out of the tower! Real mad. We coming hard. You ready? Let's go. Watch out for those claws! I was planning on it. They're at range. Feels our anger! Good! Still a lot of fight left to go. We need to bring this thing down.
Oh, I am so overleveled for this part of the game. I really am. Fuck you up, dragon. Yeah, I might turn the difficulty up for next stream. Someone suggested it last stream, and maybe I will. Honestly, I'm having fun with Power Fantasy.
Give it everything you've got. It's not getting away this time.
Might turn it up with the understanding I might turn it back down again after.
Second dragon!
Press the attack! Bring that first one down!
Tash and Lucanus do have wonderful interactions. We talked about this on a previous stream, but for anyone who wasn't around for it, if you have Tash and Lucanus out together, it turns out Tash grew up being told a bunch of stories about the Antivan Crows, as basically like kind of bedtime stories, kind of tales to make you be a well-behaved child. Like what's the one that sticks in my head a lot? It's is it true that the Antivan Crows sneak into homes and poison cookies, but not all of them, just some of them, and that's why you have to go and ask your mum for a cookie rather than just taking one out the jar, so that you don't accidentally take one of the poison ones? Or is it true that if you don't tie, like, the Antivan crows can murder you with your Canary arm ropes if you don't tie your arm ropes properly, so you gotta tie your arm ropes good. And it grows into Taj, like, really admitting, like, I wanted to be an Antivan crow. I made a cape, I jumped off the roof, I injured myself quite badly. And doing a lot of, like, is this true? Is this true? Taj is, like, a real Antivan crow fan, and it's real sweet. Butter knives on the roof, yes. Oh hey, we maybe haven't killed this dragon quite as much as we thought we had. Oopsie. Gilmanane's here.
Mortals, you defied me at Whitehall. Stole my heart.
Confident of you to come out, Gilmanane. You are vulnerable right now. You are killable, and you came here. I'm getting toward the point now where my electric skills apply burning, and that's fun.
Bring me their bodies once you are finished.
Yes, my electric attacks. Oh, we're doing both. Okay. Here we go. Heal.
In ignorance, you reject this world's salvation.
One dragon or two, doesn't matter. Can't lose here.
Here we go.
Won't lose here. Watch your right.
What's better than taking out one of Gilmanane's dragons? If you can take them both out at once. If you can take them both out today, this would be fucking great. Oh yeah, Gilmanane just fucking loves being a monster. It's the stab with the tentacles that does it for me.
Diablo!
We thought you could use a hand. Fire!
Hooray, the crows have come to help.
Yes, but we brought gifts. Poisoned ballista bolts. Guaranteed to solve your blighted dragon problem. Let's bring them down, Rook.
Oh, the crows came to help me. Because you saved their city, the crows have come to lend a hand. Ooh, fire enhanced ballista. I don't think I ever realised this was an option the first time I did this fight, that I had a button on my setup for the ballista. I just thought it was like a narrative thing that we now had a ballista. I didn't realise it was a button I could press. God, I literally never did that. Oops. Take this first one out as quick as we can. Okay, where's the other one? Oh god. Yeah, let's just fucking hit with fire.
We will tame this affliction you call the blight, and remake this world the pure.
Okay, you're gonna be the easier one to kill. Let's take you down first.
First one's almost dead. Keep at it.
Yeah, you're weak to fire. I can demolish you.
One down. Focus on the second one.
There we go. love repeat like the way they use Gillenade's dragons in this. And again, most people probably won't have beaten some of the late game dragons at this point, but like I love encounter with the dragon, it's decimating a whole town, you are just not ready for it. You come back, you fight not only that dragon, but the second one at the same time, and you can do it. And it's like a sense of your power scaling. It's nice.
Eagerness. All for naught. You think the blight is death?
Yes, that toothy mouth behind one of the eye sockets does a lot.
A perfect tool of creation.
No! She's reanimating the dragons! We have to stop her!
Yes, you came prepared this time as well, which helps. You weren't being caught off guard. Firing a fucking javelin through a god is... Right? Not only you take out her dragon, you take out the second. You hit her with a fucking ballista bolt.
Press the attack!
Like, the escalation of your strength as a team, only to once again reset the power scale by properly introducing Elganon. And going, hey, you might have wounded one of the gods.
Do not
prepare to find out
my righteous anger.
How much fucking worse this is about to get.
Hell for me, Elganon. My greatest creation.
A thrall is easily replaced. You are not. Without you, the blight is a brute weapon. Only your hands mold it into life.
Yes, you've become so much more powerful, but you are still nothing on the power scale of the second god.
The mortals deserve worse, but we have crucial work in Arth.
After it is complete, one resists.
The Dread Wolf's influence. His presence lingers.
Ever defiant. For now.
Literally fucking frozen in time compared to that man. Like, barely even moving in his presence. Frozen by his mere arrival.
You know what lesson I learned again today?
What's that?
Never bet against Rook. You can find the twisting path through any problem.
God still got away. Now Elgernon's
That deal
pissing
is
everywhere
flesh
to
molding.
show
What's
everyone how
his
big
deal? I don't think in this playthrough we've yet been told what his deal is.
he is.
We came to kill a dragon.
I don't think
yes?
they've said yet.
And instead, we killed a bear.
That took two of the gods' pieces off the board.
And we have our revenge, as does Minrathus.
We won the day. Can't take that from us. But the dragons are only weapons. The wielder is still out there.
How do we find them? The gods,
I mean, yeah, the gods are still out there, but we did shoot a fucking ballista bolt through Gillenane. We did all right today.
Evka, when we arrived, you'd already reached out to the Veiled Jumpers.
Right. They couldn't help because they were dealing with the Venatori. Coincidental timing, isn't it?
And Gillenane mentioned Arlefin.
When did she say that?
After Elgernon cast his spell, I was close enough to hear them.
Arlefin is huge. The gods could be anywhere in that forest.
The Veiled Jumpers can help us narrow the search. We help with their Venatori problem. Then odds are good we find the gods' trail.
Good luck. We'll keep watch here.
Yes, much to do. If you have time for Lavendel, there's something I could use help with.
We lost a lot of wardens today. After Weishaupt, we need to be stronger than this to face the gods.
But we'll do what we can. We always do.
The wardens have your back, Rook. All the way to the end.
Oh, look at us go, making progress. I mean, there's at least one ability he has that feels pretty significant to his power set that I don't think
So
we've been
that's
introduced to
Elganon,
yet,
huh?
that I can think of.
I didn't think it was possible, but we got lucky at Weishaupt.
We were fortunate Elganon and Gillenane disagreed on her attempt at vengeance. But why did Elganon let us live? We were at his mercy.
They talked to each other like we weren't even there. It wasn't until the spell started to fail that he noticed us at all.
We weren't a threat until then. He left as soon as we were. Means he's clever enough not to push his luck.
Whatever the reason, we made it through. And this time, no dragon escaped.
Yeah, it seems like Elganon from this first introduction is like, he's going to be considerably harder to emotionally bait into a mistake that you can take advantage of, the way that Gillenane very much seemed to be.
Thanks to Tosh.
That's why we recruited them.
So what's our next move, Rook? Arlethan, right? Help the Veil Jumpers?
That'll put us on the gods' trail, but we need to be ready for the fight once we find them. Which means we need to help our allies be as prepared as possible. The 8 of us can't face gods without help.
Elganon's arrival certainly puts a dreadful emphasis on it.
So we help our allies.
And track down the gods.
And maybe
Unless
deal
I'm
with her own crap when
misremembering
we've
something
got
Cinnamon
time.
Armadillo, but
Right.
I feel like there's a
Syrian.
pretty significant
Look,
thing
The
he's
mission's
shown able
still
to
the
do.
same. Stop the gods.
Which means?
It means we offer to help the Veil Jumpers with the damn Venatori. Then we figure out what our other allies need, and help them get it.
And us?
I need you focused and ready to face impossible odds. So tell me what that will take. We've got work to do.
We need to raise our faction loyalty levels and do our companion quests. Hey, Gumba Master, what's the status of Emmerich? Not changed much since last you were here. He's a good gentleman. He's afraid of death, we know that. He tends to the dead because he's afraid of his own death. Manfred's a good boy. Don't worry, we're gonna have more time with Emmerich soon, I'm sure. We're about to open up a whole another batch of companion quests, and Tarsh and Emmerich are top of my list.
Oh, Elganon finally showed his face, huh?
Now we've got to deal with both gods. And Elgarnon showed everyone he's more powerful than Gillenane.
You play the hand you're dealt, right? No matter the odds. True in both life and games of wicked grace.
People died, Varric. My team's still not at their best. They're trying, but their own problems are getting in the way.
So deal with those. You'll strengthen your own hand and weaken the gods at the same time.
Why would helping my team hurt the gods?
The type of people your team's having problems with, they want power. And the gods have plenty of it. Those types will crawl over to the gods and see what's on offer. And the rest? They'll just keep making your job harder.
You make all of this sound so easy.
Kid, you've got a team with a lot of complications. Sorting it all out will be the furthest thing from easy.
We've taken down an archdemon and 2 blighted dragons. That's impressive. We even made Gillenane bleed. Twice. We have to keep up the fight.
You've got this, Rook. Just fight one battle at a time.
Cool. Okay. Alright, let's see who's got missions for us. This is Tasha's room. Oh, is it time? Oh, I think it's time. Cute Scott, thank you very much for the Prime sub. Thank you very much for sneaking into Jeff Bezos' home and going, look over there. People trying to take a toilet break in your Amazon facilities. And while he was distracted, stealing some pennies and sliding them over the table to me. Thank you.
Hey, remember the dragon we were talking about with the lords?
Which one? There were a few in that conversation.
The fire breather that was killing people. Veiljumpers sent word. She's in Arlethan Forest. Destroyed a village and turned it into her new lair. I've got the location from the Veiljumpers. We can go whenever you want.
The order of some of these quests is completely wrong in my head. There's certain quests I really thought came before other quests. Alright. What good timing for you, Gumba Master. Let's find out how Emmerich's doing.
Do you remember, Rook, when I mentioned another ceremony I must perform at the Memorial Gardens? The time has come. I was
I'll hang out
hoping
with you
would
again.
accompany me again.
More grave
Sexy man.
lighting?
No, this would be a more personal visit. Whenever you've time.
Oh. Again, if we were dating Emmerich, I feel like this would be a significant mission, because I think this mission is go meet Emmerich's ghost parents. I think this is go meet Emmerich's ghost parents, which I'm kind of into. I think Tarsh's mission that we're about to do is like quite a big one. Harding's got another quest. Everyone's got their big quests. Ooh, Harding's might be a big one as well.
I heard from Kal Shirak about the missing dwarves. Stalguard's one of them. I have to go help. They sent me maps of the area where the missing were last seen. It's a start. You're coming to help, right?
I promised I would.
I'm ready to go whenever you are. Let's not wait too long.
Heart of the Titan. Right. Oh, fucking everyone's got shit for us today. Do Lucanus last. Lucanus is cool.
What are you doing?
The wisps are drawn to something around here. The boxes are baited with notes, baubles, things they steal.
Maybe they're drawn to you.
They've been seen here when I'm not. There's more to it.
I could use a break, if you need extra eyes.
Knock yourself out.
Riveting case we've got here.
I follow the leads I've got. What? You don't like a good stakeout?
I'm a crow. Comes with the territory. Of course, the target usually ends up... We're not killing wisps, are we?
Wasn't the plan.
Good. Not even sure what we charge for that. What are we doing?
We're never short on unanswered questions. I'll take a few that aren't the end of the world. Got something.
This is the scene where you commit to a romance with Nevin. It's very cute.
Empty.
Okay.
We're still good.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of the quests around this point have been ones where I'm like, I can feel like this is where a romance would start. Like, the last one we had with Lucanus felt like it could have been. The one we just had with Emmerich felt like it really could have been. At some point I will romance Nev, but not top of my list. I'm curious, but you know. Okay, the officially declare interest flag. It's interesting. Tarsh is definitely the first person that gives you the opportunity to go lock in a committed relationship. And it means I've really missed out on a lot of the other flirting opportunities and a lot of the other setups for locking in romances. Because, like, I wanted to show off Tarsh's romance on stream for a few reasons, but, like, it really is the one that locks you in the earliest. You almost get a kiss and a little wisp accidentally gets in the way and it's very cute. Okay, that is adorable.
Something's come up. Evka dug around and found us someone who knows more about the Gloomhowler.
Anything useful?
Our new friend wants to talk in person. Figured you'd want to come along for this one.
Okay, and we got... Here we go. Cinnamon Armadillo says, I wish polyamory was an option, making a choice to one person, not suiting my style. I've talked about this before. There is one dating sim I think does a really interesting job with representing polyamory. And it is a dating sim set in an old folks' home called Later Daters. That has like a really refreshing attitude to polyamory that is rooted in the fact it's a game about like much older, like senior citizen characters. And it basically boils down to you have like a conversation as a group if you've been flirting with multiple people. And a lot of that conversation boils down to, look, I'm too old to give a shit if you're also kissing so-and-so 2 doors down in the facility. As long as you have enough space to commit to me, if you've got more love to give and want to spread it around, what do I care? Just be careful, you know, get tested, don't spread stuff. I was like, that was weirdly nice.
He did worse than just try to kill me.
Really?
See if I can find
it.
it.
The guy stiffed me on the job. Those were good potions I used. Expensive, too.
Right, that makes sense.
Oh, okay. Literally, if you search Later Daters polyamory, the first things that come up are articles I wrote about that game, such as one for sci-fi.com. Later Daters let me date a queer polyamorous old person. Let me find a nice little bit of this that I can read about. Oh, that game was also really good about non-binary pronouns. Yes, I forgot about that. In my first playthrough of the game, I was interested in 3 different characters and ended up giving all 3 the impression I was taking them on a date to the center's weekly movie night. Instead of the typical sitcom scenario where I had to sneak around trying to do 3 dates at once in secret, I was simply able to tell all 3 I liked them. We went on a group date, all 4 of us together, we had a lovely time. Some of us even kissed. Everyone liked everyone, so we all just put aside any jealousy and had a lovely romantic evening. Later Daters has an incredibly open attitude to queer existence, romance, and love in old age. But it also touches on a lot of very emotionally complex topics. Oh god, I forgot about some of the stuff in this game. So here are the companion quests in Later Daters. From helping one of the residents deal with the knowledge her husband has dementia and is starting to forget who she is, to a gay man worried his husband might get shut out of his will due to the state he lives in. Yep, forgot about some of that shit. If anything, it makes me realize we need more queer old people in media. With all the statistics about my life expectancy out there, I could do with being able to imagine growing old and falling in love. I need more media that helps me picture myself being able to sit on my front step with a woman who loves me for decades to come. And then shortly after writing that, I found Jane, and here we are. But yeah, there we go. That's Later Daters, which is, for my money, one of the most interesting, like, video game depictions of polyamory.
How's it going over here?
Go check that out if you want
okay.
good polyamorous
You know.
rep.
You can take my seat, Rook. I was just leaving. Belle, swing by when you get a chance. I found another set of papers for you.
Thanks, Nev. That's nice. Sorry, Rook. Not great company right now.
You just want to sit here quietly, that's fine. I can do quiet.
Rook has ADHD.
You're not very good at silence.
I'm great at most silences, just bad at awkward ones.
Fair enough.
Ooh, now for the part I'm not great at. Here I go. What's wrong, Alara?
Nothing, Rook. Don't worry about it.
I asked, didn't I?
It's Syrian. You saw who he is. What he's
This is your
become.
brother who is being mind controlled?
Yeah.
The mask?
He's a monster, Rook.
And you're worried about what you'll need to do to stop him.
I'm worried I won't be able to, or won't want to. Anaris brought Syrian back. My brother. When he asked me to join them...
Either brought him back from the dead or brought him from the brink of death back. Also, there's more people here now, so a great opportunity for me to remind everyone, hey, the GA Conf Awards are happening. You've got until the end of Sunday to vote. The Game Accessibility Conference Awards. There's a bunch of cool accessibility stuff you can vote for, but also the Accessibility Summer Showcase is nominated for Best PR and Comms. If you think that that the Accessibility Summer Showcase may have been the best accessibility PR and comms this year, maybe you consider giving it a vote at the link I've stuck in chat. I'm gonna be self-promoing this a bunch this week because, it's rare that I do like, here's the link, vote for me. I don't do those very often. I usually just leave them to quietly be, but this one, I want a promo. Anyway.
What if I'm too much like Syrian?
If you were, you wouldn't have turned them down, which you did.
Yeah.
I did, but Rook, it was hard. I wanted my brother back. I mean, before all of this, Syrian and I were the same. Inquisitive, driven, pushing ourselves. The search for the Natus Drathalin, the archive, that was both of us, working together. I want to say I'll keep saying no, keep turning him down. But he's my brother. What keeps me from doing what he did?
I have a sudden thought, and I don't know if the lore supports this in Dragon Age, but I want to verbalize the thought I'm having. We found out on the previous stream that at the very least, the first elves were spirits that became humanoid, that basically used lyrium to go from being spirits to being tangible creatures. That's the first elves. A lot of the elves we meet across the series have, like, a clear, singular defining character trait that they're very unchanging about. It's very hard to shake them from. Is there something to a fairly strong, immutable core personality trait that is hard to steer being an inherent part of the elves, mayhaps because of where they come from? I don't know if that... I don't know if that holds up to scrutiny, but it's a thought that I want to verbalize. Right, it would explain a lot about Sarah, it would explain a lot about Solus, it would explain a lot about, even characters like Balara, it would explain interesting things about.
You're part of the team. We watch each other's
backs.
Because,
like, Balara feels like, yeah, like a curiosity wisp, for sure. And again, maybe that's a little essentialist, but, like, wisps very much have an inherent, like, this is the one character trait I have. And the wisps basically became the elves.
And we have a strict no turning evil policy.
How do you enforce that?
Maybe there's nothing to that, but
I
it's
ask you not to turn evil in a firm voice.
I will dom you into not turning evil.
I'm kind of making this up as I go.
Our team motto, pretty much.
Let's paint that.
If you try and turn evil, I'll be like,
I'm sure Solus would love that.
hey, Balara, if you start turning evil, I'll be like, Balara, don't want to be a bad girl, do you? Good girl. Get head pats. You don't get head pats if you turn evil. Etc.
You good?
That does not
I'm
come
good.
naturally to me.
Thanks, Rook. I'll see you later.
That does not come naturally to me. I had to dig into the reserves for that there. Right. Have we spoken to everyone? Okay. Let's go do... Yeah, we've got at least another hour and a half of stream. Let's go do Tarsh and Emmerich's side quests and see where that leaves us time-wise. Right. Oh, it's been a while since I've taken this pair out. Let's take this too. I need to remember that I need to actually set the quest in here, don't I? Which would be... Slaying the Fang Scorcher. Oh, this one. Yeah, this is a big chunky quest. This is a proper chunky one. This is gonna probably be like the next half hour. Maybe at least 20 minutes. Travel to the tract quest. Yeah, Harding is indeed one of the only characters not associated with one of the in-game factions. I don't know entirely what to make of that.
Gone.
Like, I'm feeling like they just didn't want to go out of their way to, yeah, this is not where I thought it was at all, huh? Okay. Yeah, look, my guess would be at some point they also had another area that was like a visitable area to do with the dwarves, and they just cut it for various purposes. Like, again, no inside intel here. My gut impression would be this game spent about 5 years in development before completely scrapping its direction and starting over as a completely different genre and starting again. I feel like at a certain point, certain choices probably had to be made to just get the thing out the door, and for it to be finished in a reasonably timely manner, choices had to be made, would be my guess. Given that this game started as an entirely different genre and puts a lot of time and money into making it a thing that it ultimately wasn't. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if certain planned things didn't make it as a result of that. Lunghawk says, it's funny reading about all the cuts and yet the game doesn't feel rushed or unfinished. That is, I think, the biggest compliment I can give this game. Is that it was in development hell, it was in development for as long as it was, that it was such a, like, it went multiple years into one mechanical genre and then shifted to be a different thing. And that it largely feels like a game designed to be this from the start. It does not have nearly as much of, like, remnants of the old design as you would expect a development timeline like this to do. It didn't turn into a Duke Nukem Forever, as so often these things do. Okay, let's do this.
All right. The dragon's a fang scorcher that attacked villages. We're close to her lair.
This shouldn't be too bad, right? We fought 2 dragons at once in Hossberg.
The dragons we fought in Hossberg were being ordered around by the gods. They were attack dogs. This is a wolf, a big wolf, fighting in her own territory. Be ready. This is your first real dragon fight.
You said she attacked villages. Are we dealing with another attack in a city, like Treviso or Minrathous?
No. Something got her to start hunting a ways off.
Something like what?
Dunno. Hoping we find out while we're here. But right now, focus on taking her down before she kills anyone else. Including us.
You said the dragon's a fang scorcher. What are they like?
Fire breather. Related to the Ferelden Frostback. Think of her like the dragon version of a bobcat or fox.
It's a little larger than a bobcat.
I mean, she's small and sneaky for a dragon. Attacks with fire from a distance to soften up her targets. And she's mean. Scorchers hold a grudge longer than my mother.
All right, let's slay a dragon. And make sure only it dies today, not us.
Stay in the trees as long as you can. It's gonna get hot when she sees us.
Honey is just sort of like, hello, I'm here too. I'm also helping.
Hey, Lace. You ready for the Fang Scorcher?
I'm just gonna do my best not to get eaten.
Just give her a mouthful of rocks if she tries. That'll show her.
Sounds like a plan.
Hang on. Something's off with that crap up ahead. Let's go up through there on the left instead.
What's wrong?
I don't know. The way that debris is placed doesn't look natural. Or like something a dragon would do.
We'll trust your word, Tosh. You know dragons best.
Something's off. Something's a little sus.
You got questions?
Would the answers make me feel better in any way?
No.
Then I have no questions.
Loud? Hunting call. Spooks prey, so they bolt out into the open.
Well, let's not do that then.
Don't do what prey would do? Good plan when hunting dragons.
When hunting anything, I would say don't act like prey. Artie stood there too distracted by the two big Canary to talk. Yeah. You're both so tall.
Wait.
Antom. Why are there Antom in Arlothan Forest?
No idea.
Oh, wow.
But they were setting an ambush.
Bet they didn't expect you to sniff them out. Literally.
Come on. We can circle around. Hit them where they're not expecting us.
On your right! Didn't even know what hit him.
What did the Antom mean? They knew I'd come for the Fang Scorcher? I only came because she attacked villages.
Maybe they baited it into attacking the villages somehow, to lure you out here.
For someone called the Dragon King.
Stupid name. Let's look around. I need to know what's going on.
I forget that poison mimic chests are a thing now.
Ready again.
The Fang Scorcher's attacks will lure the Adari's group to you, capture the Adari and kill the others, then use the Blight to weaken the Fang Scorcher until it can be captured. Gillenane will reward us well for adding another fire breather to our arsenal of dragons.
Bastards! They're the ones who've been capturing dragons and blighting them, turning them over to Gillenane in exchange for power. Hisra Marluk Vashvatari Brock! We knew the Antom were involved. Now we know it's the Dragon King. That's who we find and kill. We can get to the Fang Scorcher's lair up through there. Whenever you're ready.
Fire! Hot, hot!
There's cover on the left! Move!
Okay, run.
All right, she knows we're here. That means quick beats quiet. Stay clear of the fire. It's like oil. It's
Right.
on you and keeps
I
burning.
love in charge commander role, Harsh. This is the job. You know what we're doing. Follow your leader's commands.
More hot tubs.
Sturdy and bang scorcher. Let's do this. Tara says, I love Tosh being pedantic about dragons. I feel it doesn't come from a place of arrogance, but to them dragons are a subject you should take seriously, and all stuff you know you should also already know. Exactly, right? I love so many of the nuances about Tosh. I'm so happy with how Tosh is as a character. Hey, Rule Spider! Doing good! We're dragon hunting, it's going nice. Who's Laura Smooch in this in between two sessions of Dragon Slaying? Tosh. We are doing a Tosh Smooch playthrough. Tosh is our best one. They were asking about Laura, not Rook. Were they? Sorry, let me reread that question that I was trying to read during chat. During gameplay. Who is Laura smooching in this in-between two sessions of Dragon Slaying? I assume they're asking about my character, Rook. I mean, the last person I kissed in between Dragon Age sessions was Jane, so that would be the answer, I guess. Now, if I kissed more people than that, who can say? I was asking about Rook. Yeah, I assumed you were. But I was like, maybe I misunderstood. I don't know. Hey, Veriverse. Okay, cool. Nearly there. We're doing good. We're doing good. So close. Iron Bull is one of my favorite BioWare romances ever. Honestly, one of the few Dragon Age men, BioWare men that I'm like, yeah, I can. This is legitimately the best choice available in the game presented. For my money, you know. Emmerich's gonna be a close second romance in this game. This has once again done a good job of making my top picks not the women. But, oh, so good.
Got him in position.
Oh, did it.
Chakra to Ebra. Today, you're Dragon Slayers. Now let's see what she had.
You're right there, Josh.
Probably that big building over there. All clear.
You got very exploded for a minute there. Look, I'm not usually into the big, strong, brawny, muscly man types. But there is something just so gentle about the way she toms. Such Iron Bull, fictional though he may be, is maybe the only time a man trying to be a dom hasn't just creeped me the fuck out and made me go, oh, stranger danger, I need to get the fuck out of here. Is the one. The one man where doming doesn't feel like I am at risk of death. He managed to make big manly muscles, you know, feel a little safe and cozy.
Let's head out now.
Trophy from the Fang Scorcher? She was a good fight. You kept your cool in the middle of a dragon fight.
People who can't keep their cool end up dead.
Or a meal.
Ouch. When you were standing over the dragon, you said something. Chakra to Ebra. It's the same thing your mother told you. You struggle the way you are?
You must struggle with what you are. It's what she told me when I was a kid. Still does. So I don't want the dragon out.
Meaning your fire breath?
It's not just about the fire. It's about how stuff makes me feel. What I do when I'm angry. And probably about you and me.
You think your mother hates me?
No, she likes you. Probably.
No.
My mother worries about how I get when I care about someone. I feel too much, like it's all I can see. I build it up in my mind, and then if it isn't like that in the real world, it's like I get stuck. I get the same way when I'm angry. Like the fire. The rage is all I have. I don't want to be that. I don't want it to mess up us.
Hey, I like your fire. I like how much you care about things. So stop apologizing.
You haven't seen all the bad stuff yet.
When I do, we'll deal with it. But your fire is part of who you are. And I like who you are. In fact, it's probably because of your fire that we're still here, and that dragon isn't.
Yeah, guess you're right. I think I'm ready to talk with my mother about who I am.
Yeah?
I want her to see the real me. Might invite her to the lighthouse. Maybe that way she doesn't spend the whole time talking about that old tablet.
I'm still a little concerned about whoever sent the Antom. They mentioned the Dragon King?
Yeah. The asshole who's capturing dragons and blighting them for Gillinane. I'll ask Isabella to look for him. Still a stupid name. Dragon King. Dragons wouldn't have kings. They'd have queens.
The trap had failed. The Fang Scorcher was dead. But the Dragon King was a patient hunter.
Look at that fucking design, that Borderlands ass design.
Was a little help from a trader in the Lords of Fortune to set a new trap. And the bait was sure to bring Tosh running.
Dum-dum. It's almost time for us to talk about the coming out scene, which, again, we alluded to a little bit when first meeting Tasha's mother, but I wanna... I'm looking forward to talking in some depth about that scene. This is over here. This is, oh yeah, this is more of the side quest we're gonna do. What? Custer betraying us? Why would he ever? Just because we kind of showed him up by pointing out he doesn't know as much about dragons as he thinks. That'd be a foolish reason to betray someone. Well, Emmerich, you got more going on. Okay, we're gonna have to. Okay. You haven't had a chance to do your quest yet, but what does Lucanus want?
Is that Zara Renata? This place isn't big enough to keep.
Oh, this is Lucanus. Okay, this is Lucanus.
Zara spoke to Ilario before she died. Emmerich can talk to the dead. I have to know.
I wouldn't have offered my skills if I thought it was unsafe. Let flame rekindle your sight. Let breath and light rise again. Tell us about Ilario della Morte.
Martyrs. He fooled us both.
Elaborate.
You took what he wanted most in this world. More than coin, pleasure, family.
The title of First Talon.
Ilario had you imprisoned and tortured for a promotion?
Ilario, smarmy little dickbag, might not have been entirely on the up and up. Smarmy little shitbag.
The job was to kill you. But this one doesn't waste those with potential.
Yeah, that's not any better.
And Katerina? Did Ilario hire you to kill her?
No.
Ilario used blood magic to control Spite. How? He's not a mage.
Our risen god gives many gifts.
Elgernon? Ilario's working with Elgernon?
Her spirit's strong. Haste would be appreciated.
It's a little,
Let her
he's
go.
a little bastard,
We've heard
that
enough.
boy.
Wow. That was pretty damning.
Ilario has much to answer for.
In blood, if nothing else.
What are you going to do?
Take away everything from him.
Dum-dum. Okay, who else has stuff for us? Can we go do the coming out scene? Is it time? We saved Treviso in this. In my first playthrough, I saved Minrathus. Knowing what I know now, I think saving Minrathus is probably the correct choice. But in this one, we saved Treviso, and we are witnessing Minrathus be in the shit.
And they were driven mad by imprisonment?
Yep.
How do you wrap your head around that?
The same way you wrap your head around the elven gods talking to mortals as the Tevinter old gods who were really their dragon thralls. Reality is wild. Just go with it.
Forgy says, I was told to come by Stephanie Sterling or I'd get body slammed, and I'm Mr. Glass. Welcome, it's lovely to have you here. Hi, I'm glad I could prevent you getting body slammed today. Sounds like a victory. Right, can I upgrade the workshop?
Fire and ice.
Screw it. I'm not saving until last. I think this is Tasha's coming out and I want to just go, yeah, let's go do it. Let's do it.
This is where we eat. I see.
So, I want to, before we really dig into this scene, I want to talk about something that I talked about previously and I want to sort of re-bring it around because I think it's a really important context to this scene. How do I put this? So, before this game came out, right-wing shitbags were sharing this scene specifically to be like, Harsh is such a badly written character. Their coming out scene is just them sitting down and out of nowhere saying they're non-binary with no build-up, no context. And that's, totally not what the scene is. Because the context is Tash, Rook and Tash go to see Shathan, Tash's mother, previously. And Shathan's like, hello, go stand in the kitchen for 6 hours and make dinner and don't talk to me. And like completely like ran like the second Tash gave like even the tiniest bit of room to talk, Shathan was like, yep, not a good opportunity to talk. You're over there. I'm going to talk over you. I'm going to do this, going to do that. Going to talk over the relationship. And very much the context here is we have seen a demonstration of Shathan will not give you 2 seconds to get a thought out, let alone a long, lengthy sentence. When it's Tash. Like, we'll talk over Tash till the cows come home. And I think, like, that's context that, like, people missed from this scene is, like, this coming out the way it is very specifically, I need to just fucking say it, because if I don't just say it and be direct about it and use, like, the correct words, if I dance around it, Mum will, like, change the topic and talk over me and I'll never get it out. Yeah, it doesn't have all the conversations beforehand where Tash struggles with their mum kind of steamrolling them. Yeah, that's the thing. Is because it's not even that. It's not even just the I'm gonna come out to mum. Oops, she steamrolled over me. It's every conversation with Shathan. Like, Tash is on this mission because Shathan was like, I offer my child to the Veilguard without even checking with Tash first. It's talking over Tash and like misgendering Rook. It's like when feeding the birds. It's like every interaction is Shathan just completely talks over Tash. And I think, like, yeah.
John, it's good to see you again.
I think that context is so important
My
to this scene.
child wished to show me where she now lived.
I made food. Here, this cup. Made it myself.
And do you have powdered ginger for the table?
I'll go get some.
You are not good enough for my child.
You are not good enough for my child. Yes, because here's the thing. This much is headcanon for me, but I think it works for the scene. Tash is literally over... This is not a big kitchen. Tash is just getting powdered ginger and, like, 6 foot away, maybe? I think Tash is able to hear this. Like, I don't think this is far enough away that this is not being heard by Tash. And I think that, like... Once again, hello, I've been invited for dinner, but I am going to just confidently assert that you are not good enough for my child. It's like, yeah, no, you are trying to assert your control over what things will be. And, like, again, I think just firmly going... So, Mum, I'm non-binary. Like, don't give Mum the chance to talk over it. Yes, and I agree, Faximil. I think there is definitely some room for reading that, like, Shathan can tell something is up and is trying to talk over it to be, like, to not give a chance for whatever it is to come out. You're not good enough for my child. Well, your child disagrees.
I haven't heard any complaints.
You are emotionally sloppy and lack the resolve she needs. You will only bring her pain.
I'm gonna resist it, but that's your speciality is so tempting.
I don't think that's true. Neither does Tosh.
My child's judgment is not to be trusted.
Why are you so determined to doubt Tosh, the child you yourself raised?
I will say, though, the speech Shathan is literally about to give, one of my favourite bits of dialogue in the entire game. Like, I have my problems with Shathan as a person and her raising, the way that she raised Tash, but I do think that the line of dialogue that's about to follow might be one of my favourite lines, writing and delivery-wise in the game. I fucking love it.
I have failed, yes. I was never taught how to be a mother. Under the Qun, children are raised by those suited to such pursuits. I trained as a scholar. I was taught to think critically, to analyze without passion, and correct mistakes.
This is it. Here it goes.
You need not tell me that I am an inadequate mother. I am aware.
Then why did you leave?
When I see my child in danger, I act.
Here's the ginger.
Thank you.
So, I'm non-binary.
What does that mean?
Because, like, right, that's the context. Because the context is, literally, as I'm putting the powdered ginger down on the table, I do everything I do. I know I'm a terrible mother, but I do everything I do to protect my child. Everything is in that purpose. Deathly silence. It's like, fuck it, I just gotta rip the Band-Aid off. I'm non-binary. Like, you know, there's room for people to disagree, but I think that this scene is very deliberate. Yes, what does that mean?
It means I don't feel like a man or a woman.
If you are neither a man nor a woman, then what are you?
Non-binary. I just said, and I'm going to use they instead of she from now on.
If this is because I have criticized your dress or your manners...
It isn't!
And again, I know I'm interrupting this scene and breaking the flow, but I want to talk about it. This is... The more I experience it, this is the scene where, believe it or not, I do feel the most... I do feel like in this moment, after Tasha's come out, Shathan is very genuinely trying to understand. I think this is the communication divide that sometimes happens across neurodivergences. I talk about it being a thing that often happens with neurotypical and autistic people interacting, but it's the... How do I put this? Shathan talks in a way that I think a lot of autistic people can empathize with. The asking follow-up questions, not because I think there's something wrong with what you're saying, or that I'm questioning your authority, or that I'm, like, trying to undermine what you've just told me. I am asking follow-up questions because I need to, like, I have logical questions, and once I answer those and I find the answers and I understand the steps, I will be super okay with the thing. I'm asking questions because I have mechanical blanks I need to fill in to catch up. Whereas the other person in the conversation, Tash, is reacting from an emotional place and is, I think, understandably reading those questions as picking apart or not taking at face value the emotional thing that has been said. I don't think that these two are... Like, either of them's wrong. I think that what is happening here is two very different needs in this conversation are not being met. And I think for very understandable reasons, I can empathize with being the kind of autistic person myself where I sometimes have to ask follow-up questions and not necessarily always doing it at the appropriate time because my brain needs that to process. But also, I can appreciate being the trans person coming out and needing that moment of, I need no questions right now. You can ask questions in a bit. I just need you to go, okay, and sit with it for a second and not pick at it. And I have been both sides of this table. And it's one thing I think this scene does really interestingly that, yeah. Maximil says, I wonder if framing Tash and Shathan across the table like this is trying to illustrate some sort of divide or emotional distance. 1000% it is. There is a reason this is framed the way it is. Shathan's tone is dry and coarse, though. Yeah, you know who else's tone is dry and coarse? A lot of autistic people. I have been told many a time that when I ask follow-up questions, I seem like I am not respecting the authority in the room, and I am coming across as dry and calculated. And I'm like, sorry, that's how my brain is wired. I'm trying. We just have a different communication style. Yeah. Like, I think there's a lot more going on.
Under the Cune, the term for one whose gender does not match the one given to them at birth was a Cunithlock. Perhaps you are like that.
Why do you have to keep picking at it? Why can't you just be happy for me?
Evitar.
But again, this is the thing. I don't think Shathan is trying pick at it. I think Shathan is trying to sort into boxes, trying to go, okay, here's a thing I know. Is it this? trying to understand a new thing, and, like, granted, not doing it well. Like, there is, like, Shathan is at fault for not just stopping and going, okay, I don't know much about this, can you tell me? And I'll just sit and listen for a second. Shathan is entirely in the wrong there. Like, I'm not saying Shathan is right for this. But, again, one thing I really like about this is, for all of the problems with Shathan bringing up the Acunath lock, which is essentially, like, the closest analog that the Qunari have to, like, binary trans status, it does suggest that Shathan isn't transphobic. In as much as she knows enough to know the term that, like, Krem, member of Iron Bull's company, was referred to as a Cunith lock, in this game is referred to as a trans man. Like, the terms are about as analogous as, like, Qunari society will permit. And it does seem like Shathan is going, okay, I know trans, is this trans? And, like, I think this is an early indicator of the questioning shouldn't be read as I am against non-binary identity. It is I am doing a really bad job of asking the follow-up questions that will get me where I need to be.
Chakra to Ebra. So I'm supposed to struggle with who I am? Even if I don't feel like I fit, even if I feel wrong?
No, you misunderstood.
Then say it better!
And again, this is why I really like this reading of this scene, is, like, I talk about the two of them are talking in different communication languages, and the needs are not being met because of that. In, like, the most literal example of it at the end of the scene is Shathan using a Qunari saying that Tash, like, Shathan's first language is Qunari, it's Tash's second language, meaning that Shathan says a saying, it gets misinterpreted across the table by Tash. That's not what I meant, we'll say it better then. We are losing something, very literally, something is being lost in translation, and we are getting upset because there is a literal language mismatch happening between how we are communicating. Shathan is still too tonally emotionally resolved, methinks. Just a sec. Rule Spider says, Shathan is too tonally emotionally removed. Sorry, Laura, but your capacity for empathy is never up for question. Shathan's not so sure. I want to stop and talk about this for a minute, and I'm going to be really open. I'm glad that you feel that way, in a setting where I have very practiced demeanor. I'm 33 now. I have spent a lot of my life practicing how to sound empathetic in a way that people will hear in my voice. Where that when I feel empathy, I have to make a really fucking conscious effort to make my voice sound that way. It's not that I don't feel it inherently, it's that my natural way of communicating doesn't make me sound empathetic to other people. It is one of the things as an autistic person... Sorry, I'm getting teary up now. I want to be really honest about this. It is one of the things as an autistic person that I have to constantly, consciously think about. Because I spent years of my life being told I sounded like an unfeeling monster, when I felt so deeply all the time. Because I just don't inherently, subconsciously, without thinking, communicate in a way that communicates my emotional state. The things you're saying about Shathan are things people have legitimately said about me many times in my life, that many times growing up I was told that I sounded like I didn't care. And I say this as someone who, like, thank you for telling me that that me being feeling empathy is never is never up for debate. That has certainly not always been the case. And when I'm not, say, on stream or on a podcast and making conscious thoughts about tone of voice and trying to consciously practice neurotypical interpretable tone of voice, I go through life with people thinking I don't care when I very deeply do, because sometimes that tone just doesn't come out naturally. Yeah. Sorry, I'm taking a second to breathe. I apologize, that was a bit much, there, but yeah. It's the reason why I am maybe more willing to give Shathan room for empathy than some other people might be, because I have been on Shathan's side of the table of, I was told some big news and I was trying to process it, and the way that I best know to process is to ask follow-up questions, and because it was big news I had heard, I wasn't dedicating conscious thought to the tone of voice. Conscious control wasn't a thing on my mind because the thing I learned was really big. And I came across as sounding like I wasn't emotionally impacted because there was too much else going on in my head and I forgot to do the tone of voice. So yeah, there you go. There's a bit of personal chat. And again, part of why, like, don't get me wrong, Shathan not portraying, like, Shathan does a lot of things here that very understandably make Tash upset. But I have some leeway for, I know what it's like to be the person who accidentally comes off as unfeeling, because in a moment where something big happened, I processed it in an autistic way and forgot to do some of the performance that is acting non-autistic. Yeah. Anyway, let's continue with the scene.
Why am I never enough for you?
I will go. Thank you for inviting me to your home. Panahedan.
Because again, maybe I'm giving too much sympathy here. My read on Shathan leaving here is I think she realizes she's fucking up. And that in the moment, her emotional responses are not correctly doing what they need to. I think she walks away not out of, I cannot be okay with your having come out. I genuinely think it is I need to step up and just walk away because right now everything I'm trying to do is making this worse. I will come back and chat about this when I am less doing it wrong. Rock Smasher says, I have a hard time with Shathan here somewhat due to her saying right before this, you're not good enough for her. I agree. There are, like... And that's the thing I think works about this scene, is that it primes you not to give her the benefit of the doubt. Like, a lot of what I'm saying here is with the knowledge of how this story ultimately plays out, and, like, that kind of context. But I think this scene is deliberately set up that you are supposed to read the worst into Shathan right now, and I think that's deliberate. I think that she is overly protective to the point of denying her child a person who makes them happy. Like, actively, like, being a bad person so that you will read the actions that follow in the worst light. I think that is deliberate. I think that is part of what that scene is about. Parents fuck us up. Look, I say all of this as someone that had a really bad coming out experience with my parents. Like, I know getting fucked up by your parents. I've told being fucked up emotionally by my parents stories before. I think that this is a scene that is very deliberately, like, it has all the hallmarks of something far worse. far more upsetting of a scene, and I think that is a perfectly valid read of it. But I wanted to talk about this now, because there are scenes that will come up in the future that I think will validate some of my reading, what I feel about this scene, and we'll talk about it in a bit. I'm trying to remember what Shathan says if you're not romancing Tash here. I think, if I recall correctly, it's just that she insults Tash instead. Oh, if that had been the case, I'd have been far more pissed off. Insult me all you like. Insult Tash. Fuck you. Oh, she insults that you're pushing Tash more toward Rafani culture, calling you a bad influence. Okay. There we go. We spent like half an hour on this 3-minute scene.
Tosh, I'm so sorry.
No. It's okay.
Tosh.
I'm not hiding anymore. How she takes it is her problem.
Yep.
You sure?
Yeah. Come on. Don't let food go to waste.
Lisby says, yeah, I wouldn't say that I like Shathan, but I do get where she's coming from. I also understand where Tasha is coming from, because I mean that person. Yeah. I think this is a scene where a lot of people have very understandable reasons for feeling and acting the way they are in the scene, but that doesn't nullify the pain that is going on. And I can talk about the reasons why I think Shathan's writing and performance is really interesting, and the reasons that I have some empathy for Shathan's response, while not excusing the harm and the mistakes that Shathan makes that cause harm that are a problem. You know. My mum laughed at me when I came out. It hurt, but after the first conversation, she realized I was more serious and got it in line, which she knew enough not to push it. I don't know if I've ever told this story before. Some of you will know. Some of you will have been following my work long enough to know. I crowdfunded lower surgery costs on the internet, and that was an absolutely life-changing experience. My biological father reached out to me during that crowdfunding process, not to offer to donate money to the crowdfunder, but to offer to loan me some money, like I'm not going to say the amount, a fucking insultingly small amount that I would have to pay him back later. The amount where it's like, no, I'll just fucking pay that myself. No. And then when I said no, asked me whether I'd really thought it through and whether I was certain I wanted to go ahead with lower surgery or whether I wanted to reconsider it. Like, literally far enough into transition that, like, years on hormones, years on waiting lists, finally time for lower surgery, his response was to ask if I was sure that's what I wanted and if I'd thought it through enough. A figure who had barely been in my fucking life in the years prior. I get shitty parental trans responses. I get them. He's a bit of a piece of shit. He's a little bit of a piece of shit. Maybe one day I will get on well with him, we'll see. Anyway. Done all the things? I think we've done all the things for now. No, my parents eventually got there. They weren't great at first. My mum and stepdad were very much the, how do I put this? The, can't you put it off a bit longer? Or can't you wait until the grandparents have died so that, like, you don't have to explain it to them? They'd find it hard to understand. Oh, can you know, if you're gonna do that, can you know, be trans outside the house, but not where people we know are gonna see and we're gonna have to explain. Not like at home, not around family. They got there. Both of my parents are pretty decent allies at this point, but it took some time. Okay, let's hang out with Emmerich and his ghost parents. That seems like a fun time. Oh no, Tosh has more quest. Sorry, Emmerich, you have to wait. There's more Tosh quest. I should have looked up at the lights. Huh? Why did the map make it look like there was Tosh quest? Yeah, there's Tosh quest. Remember how you said you'd never find a big horde? Come to the hall if you want to see my haul.
Thanks again for talking with me. Being non-binary feels good. Well, not the parts where I yelled and stuff. But the other parts, with you, those were good.
Yeah, let's go do an Emmerich quest. You know what, we're gonna do one where we don't take Tosh along. I know. Criminal behavior from me. Nah, fuck it. I said that and then instantly was like, no, I'm taking Tosh. Fuck it, I'm taking my faves. We ain't stopping me, game. Oh. Oh, we got to do Laura's German lesson in a minute. Maybe we do that before we start the Emmerich quest. We'll get to where Emmerich's quest starts and then we'll do that.
Here comes trouble. Be quiet. Despair demon.
Yeah, Lisby says, one of the right-wing grifter arguments about that scene was Tosh was being unreasonable. Sure, they kind of are. But coming out can be messy and emotional, and Tosh doesn't need to be perfect. Yeah, and again, we talked about this. I think that Tosh is coming out being a little unreasonable and emotional is really earned by the fact that, as we said, Shathan, in every scene prior to this, has completely fucking walked over Tosh and not been reasonable. I'm gonna sign Tosh up to be a member of the Veilguard without even telling them first. I'm gonna make Tosh go do dinner in the kitchen for 6 hours, rather than come, like, hang out with me and their partner. Like, every interaction with Shathan has been unreasonable. I think Tosh being a little unreasonable here in response is earned, because it's like, no, you're not going to walk over me this time, this one's about me. And I'm like, yeah. I'm just going to ignore these fuckers for now. Hello, everyone. Sorry, skeletons. Oh, I might have to fight them to open the door. We'll see. Yeah, maybe they'll leave me. Maybe they'll leave me be. Oh, disabled during combat. Yeah, I'm gonna have to actually fight the skeletons. Or just... Nope, we're still in combat mode. Okay.
Oh, nicely done.
Good.
And
some action.
You know what, Porchy, what would have been wrong if a coming out scene had been aimed at children? I say, as person who wrote a children's book about gender dysphoria aimed at children, like, that their argument has to presuppose it is wrong for children to know about transness. You know? Also, yes, more colourful BioWare, right? A couple of Tasha's romance battle call-outs have happened, yeah. I'm trying to remember them off the top of my head, but... There we go, we're out of combat. Let's continue Emmerich's wonderful little quest line. And then soon it's going to be time for bed.
What do you have to say for yourself?
Did I miss something?
Since we're here to gather flowers for the dead, I thought I'd teach Manfred some plant names. But I just caught him attempting to wade into a rose bush.
I love Manfred. Manfred's perfect. I would do anything for Manfred. I mean that very literally. There's nothing I wouldn't do for Manfred. Right, 1 second. It's time for Laura learn some German, because Laura hasn't done her German yet, and we've got to learn German. So the owl is shouting, and I must learn about how to order food in a restaurant. So join me, everyone, for Laura learns German.
Das Salz.
Das Salz? That's going to be the salt, I assume. S-A-L-Z. Yes, das Salz. Salt? Salz.
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 Salz, bitte.
Salz, bitte. Salt, please.
Der Kellner.
Der Kellner.
Der Kellner.
The waiter. Der Kellner.
E.
E. That's E-E. The E-E sound.
Der Kellner.
Wo ist der Kellner? Where is the waiter? Where is the waiter? Wo ist der Kellner?
Speisekarte.
Die Speisekarte.
Speisekarte.
Cart is like a la carte. Speisekarte, to me, that's like spying on the a la carte. Die Speisekarte. That's the menu. That's how I'm going to remember that. Die Speisekarte.
Speisekarte, bitte.
The menu, please. Die Speisekarte, bitte.
Das Restaurant.
That would be the restaurant. I can do that, das Restaurant.
Wo ist das Restaurant?
Where is the restaurant? Wo ist das Restaurant?
Entschuldigung, der Tee ist kalt.
Entschuldigung.
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 Entschuldigung. Excuse me. Der Tee ist kalt. The tea is cold. That'd be, excuse me, the tea is cold. Entschuldigung.
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 Entschuldigung. Entschuldigung. That's good. That word's gonna take me a minute. Entschuldigung.
Entschuldigung, wo ist das Restaurant?
Excuse me, where is Das Restaurant.
Restaurant.
Bear is bar.
Bear.
Bear. Man is man.
Mann.
Egg is E.
Ei.
Ei. Boy is Junge.
Junge.
Cold is kalt.
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 Guten Abend. Ich bin der Kellner.
Good afternoon. I am the waiter. So I would respond to that. Entschuldigung. Wo ist der Speisekarte? Excuse me, where is the menu? Yes.
Entschuldigung. Ist der Kellner?
Entschuldigung. Where is
Entschuldigung. Wo ist Kellner?
Wo ist der Kellner? Excuse me. Where is the waiter? There we go. There's some German. Ah, there we go. Right. Probably some poor pronunciation there I need to practice, but...
Introducing the dual...
Nope. No advertisements here. There we go. I learned some German. Please be kind to gentle Manfred.
Emmerich, how could you stay annoyed at that face? Skull.
Yeah. Emmerich is my son.
Manfred. Whatever will happen
Manfred.
to you if
Manfred
I pass
is
on...
my son, not Emmerich is my son.
If?
There's something I'd like to talk about.
This is where we get to the interesting shit of Emmerich's story.
Do you know what a lich is, Rook?
I'm vaguely aware of liches.
A lich is a mage transformed into one of the undead while retaining their true, original consciousness. The idea fascinated me when I was younger. For years, I researched and experimented, spoke with spirits and mages. Then, eventually, I found them.
He wants to become a lich so he can live forever and avoid his fear of death.
Of the Grand Necropolis. Necromancers before me who'd transformed themselves into true living dead.
You must have been excited.
Not everyone gets to meet their idols.
Oh, but I was nervous. The liches are the great protectors of the necropolis, bulwarks against forces that threaten creation. After years of tests and rituals, they granted me my desire, the right to attempt lichdom.
Are you serious? Don't. No, congratulations. Congrats.
That's great for a necromancer, right?
It is a singular opportunity.
Good?
Lichdom is an incredible honor. Immortality, prestige, the most hallowed ranks of the Watchers, as well as a chance to be of service past my allotted years. But there are considerations. Come, we have flowers to gather for the dead.
Ah, yes. Liz B says something interesting in the YouTube chat. I was going to expand on what I said. I feel that the narrative around Tosh really shows how many cis people want trans people to prioritize cis people's feelings over our own needs. Yeah, I think it's worth noting how few people were talking about Shathan being unreasonable, while they were talking about Tosh being unreasonable. And I think there is an expectation of... There is a greater expectation of trans palatability. That there is a lower threshold at which a trans person being too much is considered a problem. There is a meekness level that is expected to be met.
Okay, but I've got questions.
Got to walk really carefully.
This will do
so I don't
nicely.
accidentally step on Emmerich's nice flowers. To be so
Emmerich,
careful.
Aren't most undead just random spirits inside corpses?
Liches are different. It wouldn't be a spirit acting in my name. My true consciousness would be housed in my departed flesh.
How?
The Order must keep some secrets.
Your body is basically a phylactery. I love how many of Amaryk's missions are just quietly walk around a graveyard and chat.
Moon blossoms, famed in verse and song.
Smells like perfume. Do liches have a sense of smell?
I've been told that while some of my senses will dull, others will become available. Other than that, I can't say if the flowers would still hold their bloom for me. Lichdom serves a purpose. There are dark things in creation, threats to both our world and the Fade. The Liches of the Necropolis have the insight and the abilities to oppose them.
And you're joining them when?
Certain elements have held me back.
I'm so excited to play as a member of the Morn Watch. I think that is my next playthrough, is Morn Watch dating Amaryk, I think is the next playthrough. The Morn Watch do seem so interesting. They really do.
There's no ready instructions for Lichdom. The steps must be discovered on one's own over years to be fully understood.
Does the spell to become a lich kill you, or do you have to...
No, mercifully, that falls to another Watcher. After my death, my soul will be drawn back into my body instead of moving on to whatever lies beyond.
Yeah, I've not been the same faction as the character I'm romancing in any of my playthroughs yet, and I'm excited for that possibility.
So, what's holding you back from Lichdom?
Even with all my preparations, there's a chance I could die permanently during the rites. What cowardice! The promise of immortality, an end to all my fears, and the final veil stays my hand.
You want it, risk it. Take the shot. You're only going to spend the rest of your life wondering what would have been if you tried if you don't.
If you want Lichdom that badly, you have to go for it.
I always thought I'd find the courage when I grew older. Traditionally, candidates for Lichdom face one final sifting of the soul. If they avoid it, you saw my old colleague.
Hezenkos? She's a lich?
A half-lich, though that hasn't diminished her powers. Until I stop her plans, I won't possess the peace of mind for Lichdom. Why don't you select the next flowers, Rook?
Sure.
Ooh.
So what's a half-lich, exactly?
Johanna attempted the rites of Lichdom and failed. Stuck in her in-between state, she is supremely dangerous, but can't learn any new magic.
No wonder Hezenkos was shouting so much.
No, she's always been that way.
What about the sifting of a soul that Hezenkos avoided?
The spirits of the Necropolis judge whether a candidate is worthy of the power and responsibility of Lichdom.
How'd she become a lich without it?
I shared some knowledge when we were colleagues. She apparently put together more than I knew. It would be just like her to skip the rituals, the cleansings, the preparations of the soul.
For a Watcher, Hezenkos is pretty harsh on spirits.
We made allowances because of her discoveries. Too many. Spirits are not things to be disposed of.
You really care about them.
They're so susceptible to the world's whims, Rook. Some spirits are dangerous, but how quickly most respond to a bit of kindness, or care, or simple attempt to understand. For all she's done, I can't condemn Johanna for attempting Lichdom. That freedom from mortality, that divorce from fear. And of course, time to read all of one's books.
Every mage's dream.
But how she's abused her abilities. Are my intentions enough to fare better?
Worrying's a good sign.
So it's not that she tried before she was ready. It's that she refused to do the work. Like, part of the process of becoming a lich is basically going through therapy and making sure you've sorted all your emotional shit out. And she was like, nah, fuck that. I'm just going to do the magic to become a lich without doing all the hard work of, like, sorting my soul out and making sure I'm emotionally pure to do it. And yeah, she tried to get around some of the moral requirements, the things that you need to morally achieve within your soul for it to work, and she became kind of fucked up and evil.
We have enough flowers. There's something I'd like to show you.
Here we are.
Oh, so these flowers are for...
Yes. If you could place them on the graves, please.
In memory of Rupert and Eleonora Valkarin, they walk eternity hand in hand.
After I became a watcher, I erected a proper shrine to my parents. When I come to talk, I like to think they listen. Well, don't be shy. Introduce yourself.
Rook, it's a pleasure. Do you remember your parents?
Some memories are bright. Others are akin to those dim, early morning dreams one gets sometimes. Lately, I wondered what they'd think of our current course, the choices ahead.
Your lichdom?
What would they have wanted me to be?
I can tell you what I think they'd want you to be.
What's that?
Happy. You could always speak with your folks, couldn't you?
My parents last saw me as a boy. By the time I mastered my corpse whispering, I was a man. If I woke them, there might be a flash of recognition, or... Besides, if I speak to too many other spirits, Manfred might grow jealous.
I really do think for Emmerich it is... If my ghost parents didn't recognize me, that would hurt too much. I'd rather not try and speak to them in case they don't.
Can't have that.
It'd be impossible. I agree.
God, this walk and talk is the one where I really started to warm up on Emmerich as a character. So interesting. His is one of my favorite companion quests. And it is one that is largely just walking and talking in graveyards, and it's lovely. Right, there we go. One sec.
Let's see if we can figure this out.
It's a meditative puzzle of the echoes of our actions.
You know the solution?
It needs to be discovered if it's to have any meaning.
All right.
I don't think I ever found this quest before.
Of course.
Sorry, 1 second. I don't know if my chat is working. No, okay, yeah, chat's working. Okay, it bumbled for a second. I failed to pay attention to what direction the thing went. Oops.
At once.
Let's try this again.
Okay, I'm gonna come back and work out this puzzle later. Right, I'm gonna head back to the lighthouse and see if anyone has any other quests for me to pick up from there, and once that's done, I'm probably gonna wrap up for today. We'll come back on Wednesday to continue Dragon Age the Veilguarding. Continue with all those companion quests. Let's have a look. Emmerich's got something for us. Let's go chat to Emmerich. Yeah, coming up on 3.5 hours of stream. I think that's a reasonable stream length.
I don't understand why you're bringing so many books.
Oh, these two.
Well, I don't see what your objections are to my taking a canopy.
We're only going for 2 days.
You've hardly brought more than a flask and a bedroll.
Should I send a search party out for you two in a couple of days?
No.
Of course not.
Emmerich wants to see more of Ferelden, so we're going camping. But he's treating it like we're going to an academic thing.
An expedition can have its earthly comforts.
You want to bring a shaving kit in the woods.
My dear Harding, a gentleman is never without a brush.
Yeah, that moustache
and a
doesn't
razor.
look like that without
The
bringing a razor
whole
with
point
you.
of going to the wilds is to get away from all that. So what if you get muddy and smell a little bad?
One can enjoy the scenery while remembering to bathe.
Harding, does it really matter if Emmerich brings 8 books?
9, actually.
And Emmerich, so what if Harding is fine sleeping on dirt?
Not all the time. Okay, Rook, I know. This trip's supposed to be fun.
I really have looked forward to you showing me more of your home, Harding.
Me too. Oh, and I'll make us sandwiches.
Ah, your famous ham and jam slam?
Ham and jam
Well,
slam.
jam and jam slam because you don't eat meat. So I'll use yams.
How thoughtful. Thank you, Harding.
Oh. And check if anyone else outside has little scenes for us. And then on we go. Harding's got a companion quest we need to do. Okay, we got like 3 more scenes. We've got so many more scenes. So Camus, do you have... are we going after Ilario finally?
Rook, you're here.
Is something wrong?
I say, there's nothing to stop you trying a yam and jam slam, Amphibigori. If it's nice, please let me know. I'm
They
curious.
sent word. They have information about Ilario. Whatever it is, they wish to speak away from Treviso, away from anyone who might be listening. They won't put more to paper. I need to meet with them as soon as possible.
Oh, everyone's got quests. Everyone's got quests. Ev, your blood ritual lady, you got more
I've got
on
a
her?
meeting with the Threads.
Ah.
The Threads? What for?
I need leads on Aelia. I'm hoping they have something. Dharma's said to invite you. Someone's on his good side.
Ah. And then, Balara, are there updates on your brother? All side quests all the time now. All side quests all day.
She felt it all over. Her attraction to the hero. A powerful but properly contained tingle. Nearly exquisite.
Hello everyone, welcome to Balara Writes Erotica. Welcome to Balara Writes Erotica. You have been warned.
Properly contained. No, sounds bad. Okay, cut the middle line. Much more natural.
What are you working on?
Oh!
Yeah, you did come in on the fanfiction plotline.
I didn't see you.
Which honestly, look, Balara's quest with her brother is really sweet. This is the one that really like rounded her out as a character that I enjoy. Writing, yeah, her 100,000 words.
What did you hear?
Slow burn enemies to lovers smut.
Enough to get a powerful but properly contained tingle.
That isn't, I mean, I'm not,
Oh, I love having a powerful but properly contained tingle.
You're joking, right?
Most of the time, yeah.
Nev found me more cereals. I've read them, all of them, multiple times. And I thought maybe I could try it, writing my own, I mean. Not like Varric Tethris, but my own sort of thing. For me, and people like me. Something to focus on, besides Syrian and all of that. And you know, you're also interesting, it helps for inspiration.
Interesting is certainly a word we could use.
But it works! You're fighting ancient gods and everything. And you know the rest.
Oh, like you.
It's impressive. What you've done, I mean, brought everyone
You're
together.
also fighting elven
You're
gods.
a good person. Really.
Just don't tell anyone. I've got a reputation to uphold.
Right. Your secret's safe with me. But I'm probably not the only one, you know, who notices. People look up to you. And more are going to when this is over.
that's all great, but like get back
Anyways,
to the smart though.
Thanks, Rook. I'll talk to you later. Gotta finish this scene.
Don't worry, we're gonna get more of her smart later. We're going to get more smart. Fear not, everyone. It's okay.
Manifestation.
I finished doing my upgrades. Right, I think this is where we're going to wrap up for today. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. I hope you've enjoyed. I'll be back on Wednesday with another Dragon Age the Veilguard stream. Before we wrap up, I'm putting a link in the chat one more time to the GA Conf Awards 2024. Hey, if you maybe think that the Accessibility Summer Showcase this year was perhaps the best marketing and PR comms for accessibility that happened this year, maybe you give a little vote in that those awards. You know, that'd be a cool thing. Votes are up until Sunday. It'd be cool. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. I hope you've enjoyed. I will be back on Wednesday. I'm going to go get some